Banana Ball is live from sunny San Diego, California for a historic battle between the Savannah Bananas and the Loco Beach Coconuts as they clash for the first time ever. The Coconuts come in with 4 of the top 5 leaders in hits. Parker, Toplin, Vining, and Allen are all off to red-hot starts, while the Bananas pitching staff, led by veterans like Hosley and Nisnik and reinforced by standout rookies like Bazela and Levesque, come in with a staff ERA of 3.27. That's over 2 runs better than any other team in the sport. And what a venue for it. The 3rd ever Banana Ball game in Petco Park, home of the San Diego Padres, as we welcome you inside. The Nanners 4-1, the Coconuts 2-3, Josh Talevsky, Biko Scala. Happy Saturday night in Banana Land. We've already had a full Banana Ball game up in Sacramento. Tailgaters taking down the Party Animals. We are in the late stages of a game as we speak on the Firefighters YouTube channel between the Firefighters and the Indianapolis Clowns. What a time to be alive in the sport of Banana Ball.
And the weekend's only getting better now with the Bananas and the Loco Beach Coconuts kicking things off shortly here in Petco Park. And this is a massive weekend for one of Banana Ball's expansion teams, the first ever Major League ballpark for the Loco Beach Coconuts. I can't think of a better venue, and I really think the fans are going to enjoy the vibes and the fun that the Coconuts bring. But they've got a tall task ahead of them, considering the Bananas have the best record in the Banana Ball Championship League right now, and they were just handed their first loss last Sunday in the Superdome against the Party Animals, so they want to prove that they are still the team to beat early on here in 2026.
And the Party Animals offense, one of the best in the sport, a big reason why they were able to take this game. The Loco Beach Coconuts, as we've talked about, one of the best offenses in the BBCL as well. Ben Parker, as big a reason as anybody. You take a look at the team stats, leading the tour in average, slugging, and OPS, and when it comes to hits and extra base hits, they came into the weekend leading the sport, but the Party Animals and Tailgaters have had 2 more games now than the Coconuts.
Yeah, and this is very similar to what we saw kind of last week. You felt like the Party Animals, it was the best offense against the Bananas, the best pitching staff. It kind of rings true now this weekend. Loco Beach, we knew there weren't going to be many questions with this team offensively. Mark Crocco had his offensive game plan laid out pretty well and executed on that in the draft. And so far, his first round pick, Ben Parker, has been leading the way for this team, and they're keeping him in the leadoff spot here tonight. 11 hits in his first 22 at-bats, still doesn't have a strikeout this season. He has been unbelievable, and he batted over 400 last season playing his final collegiate season. So he's been unbelievable, and the Coconuts tonight, 6 guys in their starting lineup are batting 300 or better. That is a big reason why you see this team the only squad with a team average over 300 so far in the Banana Ball Championship League.
Yeah, these Loco Beach boys can absolutely swing the stick, but when it comes to the Nanners pitching staff, they can really throw the heck out of that pill. We've talked about it through 5 games this year. It is otherworldly stats, led by a guy like Jacob Bazela here in his rookie campaign, who still has not allowed a run, but the league best ERA ship, which is sprints plus hits per innings pitched, second in MPI, only behind the Coconuts, and then strikeouts, ball 4 sprints, and they're even tied for the tour lead in fan outs.
I mean, the thing that continues to impress me, I check our stats website all the time. It looks like there's an error or a typo on the site when I see 12 ball 4 sprints compared to 52 strikeouts.
Right.
The poise, the command that these Bananas pitchers have shown through the first 5 games is just otherworldly to me. And it's not just coming from the veterans like Nisnik, Lewiggs, Hosley. You've got the rookies stepping up in major ways, and we thought the Bananas might have won the draft from a pitching standpoint. It continues to appear that that's the case. Jacob Bazela has really been one of these standout performers for the Bananas, and he's slated, we think, to enter tonight's game in relief for this squad. 4 innings in, hasn't allowed an earned run, 5 strikeouts, only 1 ball 4 sprint. He has been incredibly valuable. And by the way, he's not just executing his pitches, he is an unbelievable dancer and performer on that pitcher's mound as well, which I've really enjoyed seeing.
Yes, another example of, like a Robert Anthony Cruz, you do gymnastics as a kid, Jacob Bazale, a lot of dancing as a kid. You are preparing your children for banana ball. Little did they know, the sport did not exist, but Bazale was built for this thing. Let's take a look at the BBCL standings here. Most teams 5 games in, as we've talked about. Tailgaters and Party Animals already wrapped up their series up in Sacramento. They split it, so they still are tied a game behind the Bananas at 4-3 each. Of course, the Nanners coming off their first loss of the year, and then the Firefighters and Clowns still doing battle. Last I checked, they were tied after 6 innings in Montgomery, Alabama, and the Coconuts currently do not hold the tiebreaker against the Firefighters, which is why they're the first team out of that Banana Ball Open.
And again, through the first 11 games, the 4 teams with the best records, they'll be the teams competing in the Banana Ball Open in mid-April in Savannah, Georgia. Bananas 4-1, they are still that team to beat. But for the Loco Beach Coconuts, they're on the outside right now, and they know that they've got to try and at least split this series, if not sweep right now. That was the goal that I heard from Ashby Vining this morning. And the Loco Beach Coconuts, although they have the same record as the Firefighters, both of these squads sitting at 2-3. We saw last weekend in Little Rock, it was the Firefighters coming away with the sweep against this team, so they have the head-to-head tiebreaker against this squad, and that is why they are the 4 seed right now if we were to enter the Banana Ball Open, and that would pit them against the Savannah Bananas.
Right, and the Coconuts and Firefighters don't play again before the Open, so there's no way for the Coconuts to get this tiebreaker back. If they have the exact same record as the Firefighters after these 11 games going into our midseason tournament, the Firefighters have that #1 tiebreaker. Nothing else matters. They have that edge over the Coconuts, so it's that important for Loco Beach to make sure they end up a game better than the Firefighters, or they could be that first team out like they are right now.
And again, the goal is for them to try and get the series split, if not a sweep this weekend against the Bananas. Again, that's a tall task considering the Bananas 29-5 last season playing in major league ballparks.
Yeah, the Nanners, they certainly know how to play when the lights are the brightest, the crowds are the biggest, and it's veterans all over the place. That's a big part of it for sure. Okay, we've got a lot more to chop up on the pregame show. Looks like we are about to be presented with a banana baby as those Nanners finish up their little intro dance down on the diamond.
San Diego, it's time for a very important tradition. I need you all to get your spirit fingers in the air. This is a tradition that goes all the way back to the very beginning. The first tradition in all of Banana Land. This tradition has brought so much luck that the Bananas have achieved 783 wins due to this tradition, a number that is completely made up. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to meet tonight's Banana Baby. This is Vinny. She is 5 months old, 14 pounds, and looks remarkably interested in what's happening before her. Keep the spirit fingers going, and give it up one more time for our banana baby, Vinny! It's now time to get loco! Bringing the sunrise, the tan lines, the high fives, and the good vibes. Let's go crazy on the Loco Beach Coconuts! Now it's time for your coconut starting lineup. Leadoff hitter in center field, number 9, Ben Parker. Left field, number 10, is Tanner Allen. First base and batting third is number 15, Jordan Brewer. That guy's shredded. Our extra hitter, number 21, Eric Osterberg. Number 5 hitter is our catcher, number 11, Ashby Whiting. It's third base, number 23, Dane Hoffman. Shortstop, number 1, Peyton Chatonier. Right field, number 18, Gideon Ansel. Our designated hitter, number 31, from Laguna Beach, California, Brady Morgan. Second base, number 7, J.D. Urso. On the mound, number 22, our swinger is Austin Krasminski. The Cocos are led by Mark Crocker, assisted by Anthony and Andy Morales. And please welcome the three-time coach of the Coconuts. He's a two-time All-Star and World Series champion, the Flying Hawaiian Shane Victorino.
Well, there's the Loco Beach Coconut starting lineup. Great to have the Flying Hawaiian Shane Victorino, their primetime coach, part of his first ever weekend with the Coconuts. And let's take a look at some familiar faces for Bananas fans. How about Andy Archer, Austin Krasminski, Dalton Malden, Kyle Perry, all varying levels of Bananas stardom before finding a home on the beach.
And all these guys drafted by Mark Crocco during last year's player draft. And these guys all played pretty prominent roles over the years for the Savannah Bananas. You consider Dalton Malden, a guy who has been here since 2021, the starting second baseman in 2022 and 2023 for those Savannah Bananas. Had some really big hits, always solid from a trick play standpoint. And then these were 3 big arms for the Bananas out of the bullpen last season. Archer, an all-star in 2024, and he was close to being named one last season along with Austin Krasminski. And for Kyle Perry, this is only his second Banana Ball season, but he's playing a pretty prominent role on this Coconut squad, being able to give out a lot of pitching advice to the rookies on that Coconut staff. So this is a very interesting series for these 4 guys, and especially for Krasminski, considering he's going to have the start against his former team tonight.
And it's Mark Crocco and the Coconuts that gave him his first career start in Banana Ball. He was a reliever full-time each of his 2 years under the tutelage of Tyler Gillum, Adam Byron, that Bananas coaching staff. So a new role for Krem. He has shined in it early on here in his Coconuts tenure. Now he faces his old team. I would love to hear what Krasminski and how about Dalton Malden are thinking about playing against the Bananas.
All right, here with a couple of former Bananas, Dalton Malden, Austin Krasminski. I'm AJ Switek, the voice of the Vibes, and this is a big-time game for Loco Beach. Dalton, you're no stranger to a big league ballpark, but what does it mean in fresh colors?
Oh, man, it's like a fresh start this year. This year's been awesome. The guys have been great. A lot of people ask me all the time, like, Dalton, like, do you miss the guys in the team? And yeah, like, I love those guys so much, but, like, we got something really special over here, and, like, what a time to get to play against the Bananas here at this special ballpark. It's going to be awesome.
Austin, for you, it's revenge and also the biggest start of your banana ball career. Walk me through the emotions.
Yeah, you know, I'm just going to take it like it's another game. I played here before last year. I had a great time, and I'm just going to hopefully put on a good show for everybody, and hopefully we can get the win. And I'm just honestly really excited for all these new guys to experience a big league park for the first time.
Well, everyone in the clubhouse calls Austin Krem. That's because he's got quite the last name. Without looking at the back of his jersey, Loco Beach is a family. Can you spell Krasminski, Dalton?
Yeah, we also call him Crum as well. It's Krem or Crum. His last name, it's a tricky one, but it is Krzeminski.
That's money. Loco Beach is a family. We've got to go catch a vibe and a dub.
Let's go.
Thank you so much, AJ Switek. Good luck to those Coconuts catching both the vibe and the dub. I don't think they'll have any problem with the vibe. The dub, a little more difficult against this talented Banana squad. Let's take a look at what the Coconuts did last weekend in Little Rock, Arkansas, facing off against the 0-3 Firefighters, but a formidable squad nonetheless. And Jordan Brewer getting the offense going early. How about 3 batters in, his first career Coconuts home run after he had a pair of long balls with the visitors last year. And then Sal Jacobo to Jordan Brewer. Those are 2 of the top 5 guys in the sport in trick plays. Ben Parker right behind them as well with the backflip catch. 1-0 Loco Beach after 1 inning of action. And how about that? Darian McDowell says, I'm going to knot it up real quick. Now 1-1 through 2.
Yeah, and it was a very back-and-forth series. Now top 3, Caden Green going between the legs. Mason Maxwell behind the back takes a tumble, but is able to preserve the double trick play. Brian Trepanier would make his 2026 debut with the Firefighters, get the punch out, but the Coconuts would put up a run in the 4th inning, and Drake Fontenot would earn them their 2nd point of the game.
But the lead disappears just like that. Bases juice, wild pitch in the 5th inning. Racing on into scorers, Noah Bridges. So we're knotted at 2, and then all of a sudden, here come the Firefighters. Lamar Sparks, his first career walk-off. That gives the Firefighters their first lead of the ball game. And then with a runner on, oh my gosh, dicey tip drill trick play from Ben Parker. Gideon Antel there to clean it up. But with a run in the inning, not enough. Joe Filomeno gives up the walk-off ball for sprint. Second walk-off of the game for McDowell. Ben Dum nails down the save in order. 4-2 Firefighters win on night 1 in Arkansas.
Yeah, that would send us to game 2. Loco Beach getting to play as the home team in the 2nd game. Dalton Cornett getting things started in the 1st inning with the RBI single. Firefighters then able to earn the point in the 1st inning. Eric Jones Jr. making the catch in foul territory and putting the team up 1-0 through 1 inning of play. Now in the 2nd, ball 4 sprint issued by Austin Temple, and that would put us at 1-1 through 2 in the 3rd. How about Temple fielding his position and earning another point? Firefighters go up 2-1.
Blake Morgan in a whole lot of trouble in the bottom of the 4th. Jordan Brewer with another walk-off as he shoots that one into left field. So we're tied at 2 to the 5th. Darian McDowell singing "Shouty" like a melody in my head. Gotta keep on. And all of a sudden with the backpack on, he's got his first career banana ball home run. It's a 2-run shot, and it would be enough offense for Javon Ray to turn it into a point. So Firefighters ahead 3-2. Couple ducks on the pond. Tanner Allen into the Logan Lacey behind the back trick play. It's 4-2 now, 5-2 after Zach Phillips survives a dicey 7th inning. Firefighters won the frame 4-3. So 5-2 to the 9th, and the Firefighters looking for insurance. That's a veteran Dalton Cornett bringing in Noah Bridges with the double. Then with 2 down, EJ RBI single. You're up 7-2. It's got to be enough, right?
Well, you would think it was a good thing that Cornett and EJ were able to get those points on the board. Tanner Allen with 2 outs in the 9th. All of a sudden, it is a 7-5 game after his triple. Jordan Brewer works the ball 4 sprint, and the 3-2 payoff. Ben Dum able to strike out Eric Osberg and get the Firefighters Firefighters the sweep in Little Rock and have the Firefighters win back-to-back games for the first time in franchise history as well.
And that's what sets up those standings that we showed you. This is why the Firefighters now hold that tiebreaker over the Coconuts, even though both teams are 2-3 through 5 games of action this year. And Loco Beach trying to bounce back against the best team in the sport. Coconuts Bananas. More pregame action after this.
For another tradition, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for a little Can't Stop the Peeling. We need to put your hands together as we meet the cast of the Savannah Bananas. First, they are the greatest.
Well, as the young professor introduces the cast and crew to the full capacity crowd here in Petco Park, let's talk about the California kids all up and down the Savannah Bananas roster, because we've got a plethora of them. How about Reese Alexiadis, Max Young-Goldberg, Robert Anthony Cruz, Derek Klena, and Kelsey Whitmore? That is 5 California kids for everybody counting at home. You can see the hometowns all there. And for more from our California guys, I mean, we've got to hear from Super Reese. And we'll get it down to Michael Schwartz talking with the Bananas right fielder.
Hey guys, we are chilling with Coconuts, but with one of your favorite Bananas in his home state, Reese Alexiadis. Reese, how do you like the coconut shake?
The coconut shake is very delicious. Man, I'm surprised by the texture, but it is good.
Padres went all out for us. Here, wait. You need that. Let's talk about your walk-up recently. You collabed with One Piece, which obviously you're a huge manga fan. How is that to just interact in that moment?
It was so cool seeing the whole section in Straw Hats. You know, once I got done, I got nothing but support and positive reactions of how much fun people had, fans, teammates, staff. Everybody loved it, including myself. And the One Piece community is nothing but supportive and special, just like the Banana Ball fans.
Starting last week in New Orleans, you've now hit a home run in every single NFL stadium. How does that feel?
Feels
every NFL stadium that the Bananas have played.
Yeah, it feels good. Not only do I like it, but I like hitting them far in the football stadiums. No cheapies.
All right, Petco Park, I think, is ready. Last thing before we send it up. You're from 2.5 hours from here. You got a lot of family and friends here. California vibes are all-time high right now. Could you send it back to the booth with a California impression?
We got some coconuts, bro, and it's so good. We're gonna shred some waves and lay it out on the beach. Come on.
All the good vibes. Sipping on some coconut.
The coconut water, certified delicious. Josh and I both put one down yesterday. And I think Reese Alexiadis proves he could be a fantastic Loco Beach coconut with the California impersonation there. All right, we've taken a look at what the Coconuts did last week as we zoom out from the beautiful press box here at Petco Park. Let's zoom in on the Superdome in New Orleans. Austin Drury after 2 quick outs. It was a 2-out single from Jake Skoll, and then a little dink job, 2-out double. Andy Cosgrove. Alexiadis goes for the trick play behind the back transfer. No chance with Skoll's speed. And then next batter, that's just Jason Swan. Patented Swanee with the 2-out knock, drives in another part of a 4-for-4 ball game for the Swanster. But the Bananas not dead yet in the first inning with 1 swing. All of a sudden, the inning lead cut in half. That is all they would get, though. They would lose the first inning, so it's 1-0 into the second. Wrap flip alert! Oh my gosh, on a laser beam from Mikey Ballard, one of the best we've ever seen from Cruz. And then with 2 down, DR Meadows says I can backflip catch 2. Crazy. Top of the second inning, rather. And then you think, runner on third, no outs. The Bananas gotta tie this game. No, that'd be a line out, double play, and then Delano strikes out Cox. That survives. Party Animal still up a point.
Yeah, weather was getting flashed all throughout the second inning. Now here in the third, the fan splashed in the weather. First foul out to a fan in favor of the Savannah Bananas, and things would continue to go their way in the bottom half. Louisiana native Bryce Grisaffi doubles in his first career banana ball at bat, and that would set up Super Reese Alexiadis to tie the game and earn the Bananas their first point in the third inning. Now in the fourth, how about Kyle Jackson? A deep drive out to left field, but Noah Fisher gets the trick play, also puts the Party Animals back out in front. Now Rob Harrelson, 81 years old, the new oldest man to play banana ball, gets a foul tip on Jake Lialios, but he would go down swinging, and then Kelsey Whitmore would come in to pitch and freeze Ashton Lansdale, collecting her first K of the year.
So bottom of the 7th, 3-2 game. Sean Fluke mic'd up with Josh and I, barking at the Bananas. Hey, that's an equalizer point earned by the Party Animals. First time that's ever happened against the Nanners, but then a 2-out rally. Cox to Jackson to Meadows. It's 4-3 to the 9th. Golden batter, first time in Reese Alexiadis' career. He only sees 1 pitch, nearly puts it out, bounces off that 60-foot net down the left field line. Shout out netting pros. Tie game. Robert Anthony Cruz, what a battle. He wins it. Walk-off ball force sprint. Nanners take it 5-4.
That would push us to game 2. The Party Animals getting to play as the home team the next day, and it would be a really competitive battle. We start things out in the first inning. Tip drill from DR Meadows keeps things scoreless, and Noah Nisnik was dealing through his first 3 innings, shutting down the Party Animals, and yeah, more trickery from the Bananas. DR Meadows with 3 in the ballgame. Now top 4, Max Young-Goldberg. That's a sac fly in his first career banana ball RBI, getting the Nanners on the board. And DR Meadows, 2 guys in scoring position. That's a point for Savannah.
Top of the 5th with a lead, Drew Brees, NFL Hall of Famer, spent 15 years, won a Super Bowl in New Orleans. He grounds into a sweet trick play from Chase Acuff. What a moment, one of the loudest crowd pops we've ever had, honestly up there with Trevor Hoffman last year here in San Diego. And then with runners on the corners, Acuff gets the RBI, ground out. We are knotted at 1. Hey, MJG gets a taste of that. Stake action, wants a couple more. Brings in Ty Jackson, Meadows right behind him. RBI double, first extra base hit, 2 ribeyes at that for MJG. Levesque turns it into a point, so the Nanners up 2-1, top of the 7th. Look out! Nate Tellier nearly gets his head taken off by Rack, but it's a 1-2-3 inning, and then Derek Klena takes over in the bottom half, and he just did not have it. He gives up the sprint to Bronson Ballholm on the 2-ball pitch, rather. Mark Smith steals second. Good banana ball IQ, and then it would be 4 straight bad ones to Bryson Bloomer. Just like that, we're knotted at 2.
Yeah, now Dylan Porter, the kid who pitched at the University of New Orleans his last collegiate season, gets to pitch in the Superdome, comes away with the trick pitch strikeout. The pistol squat coming from DP. Now in the 8th, Grant Besser on the mound. More great base running from the Party Animals. Hampton swiping second, scoring on the ball for a sprint. And in the 9th, with the Animals clinging to a 3-2 lead, they would tack on even more trick plays for good measure. It starts with Bloomer. Chase Acuff goes between the legs for out number 2. And how about Bloomer? 1 more to secure the series split, as the Animals would hand the Bananas their first loss in the Banana Ball Championship League.
And how about Dylan Porter getting the W back in New Orleans? Pretty poetic. First time he faced the Nanners since 2024. I mean, the stuff just writes itself. We're about to get our national anthem here in Petco Park. After that, it's first pitch between the Coconuts and the Bananas from San Diego.
Please welcome Nico Jaquez.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Nico Hawkins!
We've had our national anthem. The last step before we get banana ball is a kick line. For the first time, the Coconuts linking arms with the Bananas. And away they go. Coconuts, first time kick liners in mid-season form. A showdown between Loco Beach and Savannah.
For the Loco Beach Coconuts and your Savannah.
As Bananas and Coconuts clash for the first time in banana ball history, and we bring you briefly back up to the booth with Josh Trelevsky, Biko Scala. Happy Saturday night. Looks like we're going to the 9th inning, tied in Montgomery between the Clowns and Firefighters. Now we get to see the Bananas and Coconuts battle for the first time ever. What a time to be alive.
And the lights don't need to get too bright for the Loco Beach Coconuts tonight, playing in their first ever Major League ballpark. It's certainly going to be a big night for them. And again, the Bananas really great in MLB ballparks a season ago, a 29-5 record. So the Coconuts, they've got their hands full against this talented Nanner squad.
Coconuts, the away team tonight, they'll be home tomorrow afternoon. Here's the Nanners' defensive alignment, and it's the classics in the outfield, left to right. Robert Anthony Cruz, DR Meadows, Reese Alexiadis, third to first in the infield. Same there as you see Kyle Jackson, Ryan Cox, Jackson Olsen, Max Young-Goldberg, and then Bill Leroy behind the dish with Alex Ziegler, once again the designated fielder.
This is a team averaging nearly 9.5 trick plays per game right now. That dropped after what was a somewhat low performance last weekend in New Orleans. Nonetheless, DR Meadows currently is tied for the third most trick plays on tour with 11 of them, and it's the guys you'll see at the corners tonight, Kyle Jackson and Alex Ziegler, who have also had very big impacts for the Bananas this season. Ziggy serving as the designated fielder. He'll get a majority of the work at first base tonight for the Bananas, actually in place of Max Young-Goldberg.
And in the middle of the madness, it's going to be the southpaw Austin Drury out of Lando Lakes, Florida, the Bananas' first-round selection. Number 4 overall in the player draft last fall. 5-pitch mix. 5 years in the Dodgers organization, followed by 3 years in the American Association, pitched professionally in Venezuela and Mexico, finds himself at the top of this Bananas pitching staff in 2026.
This is his third start of the season for the Savannah Bananas. Drury 1-0 already this season, striking out 26% of the total batters he's faced early on in his career, and he still hasn't allowed a ball 4 sprint. And he said there was a stretch in 2022 pitching in the Dodgers organization where he was given up too many walks, and that's the decision they made to release him. Clearly, he took that to heart. He feels that he's a very effective strike thrower, and he has shown that that is the case early on in his banana ball career.
Yeah, still yet to allow a ball 4 sprint. He said he will hit some guys. He has hit 3 already. We'll see if this Loco Beach Coconuts lineup can finally draw a sprint against him. It is a really formidable squad with Ben Parker at the top for a 6th straight game, followed by Tanner Allen, Jordan Brewer, the big cleanup man, Eric Osberg, then Ashby Vining, Dane Toffland, Peyton Chatagnier in the bottom 3, Gideon Antel, Grady Morgan, and JD Urso. This is a very deep lineup.
Yeah, it is so deep, and Ben Parker, Dane Toffland have been the 2 standout performers for this Loco Beach Coconuts team. They've also got the advantage of facing off against a lefty to start this game, as both Parker and Toffland right-handed sluggers for this Coconuts team.
It'll be very fun to see. Of course, Drury, a southpaw on the bump against a guy like Ben Parker, hitting .500 this year with a .560 OBP. Trying to get things going off the right foot. Before we see that battle, we toss it to Jesse Cole.
Banana Nation, it is time. On 3, I need everyone here to yell, start the clock. 1, 2, 3. Showtime.
Over 42,000 fans on hand here in Petco Park, home of the San Diego Padres. What a glorious sight to see. The first big league stadium for the Loco Beach Coconuts here in their 6th ever banana ball game. And what a phenomenal leadoff man they have. Ben Parker, 11 for 22 in his rookie campaign, knows that Bill Leroy set up behind him, and will take a free ball. Nothing wrong with that. Couple ball 4 sprints earned this year, as we've discussed. Parker yet to strike out. And Bill taking his time going through the wickets. Chance for the fans. Bangs off the second deck. A ball and a strike on Parker out of Los Altos, California. Behind 1 and 2 now. Bouncer back to Drury, bobbles it between the legs, flip to first in time. Trick play, and 1 down.
Well, he missed one already in his banana ball career. Now gets the comebacker against Ben Parker. Has the wherewithal to transfer between his legs. And the Bananas are going to try and deny the Coconuts that equalizer point tonight. Again, this team has looked so sturdy for the most part in trick plays, especially playing in normal ballparks. And this one's rolled over to Goldberg. He flips behind his back to Drury at the bag. And 2 quick outs, 2 trick plays for the Savannah Bananas.
And it's Drury and young Goldberg teaming up on the pair of them. The rookies getting in on the action. Austin Drury gets the first of his young career. MJG doubles his total on the tour. And now Jordan Brewer. It is a fearsome top 3 for Mark Rocco in this Coconuts lineup. Brewer hasn't caught fire yet, as he smokes this deep to right. Alexiadis will watch it bang off the wall. Plays it perfectly as Brewer cruises into second with a stand-up double. Nearly took the words right out of my mouth. He had a home run last weekend in Little Rock, Arkansas. Former Big Ten Player of the Year at Michigan. Just an absolutely phenomenally talented baseball player. 3rd round pick by the Astros in 2019. Spent 6 years in their org. He's now in scoring position for Eric Osberg, the former Tampa Bay Rays farmhand. Osberg lofts this out to shallow left. Cox called off by Cruz. And the communication pays off. Brewer stranded in scoring position as Drury puts up a goose egg.
Quick 9-pitch inning for Austin Drury, and one that ends in 2 minutes and 22 seconds with 2 trick plays for the Bananas. Awesome start.
So the Nanners can take the first point with just 1 run here in the bottom of the first inning. They'll have to do it against this impressive Coconuts defense. Left to right in their outfield, it's Allen, Parker, and Antel. In the infield, third to first, Toffland, Chatagnier, Urso, and Brewer Vining behind the dish, and then Jacobo, the designated fielder.
And it's these middle infielders and Jordan Brewer over at first base who have a majority of these trick plays for the Loco Beach Coconuts this season. They had a really big weekend in Little Rock despite getting swept. And for Sal Jacobo, not in the starting lineup, but serving as the designated fielder, will likely likely see him play a lot of time at second base in place of Urso, but he may even see some action at shortstop in place of Chatagnier. You never know.
Yeah, this is J.D. Urso's first offensive start of his Coconuts tenure, and Jacobo's going to be out at second to start the ball game. In the middle of it all, Austin Krasminski, a 2017 collegiate banana, then a professional banana baller in yellow for 2024 and 2025. Turned into one of the most consistent relievers in the sport. Finished his bananas career on a really impressive scoreless inning streak that was just broken up recently, but really fine start to his Coconuts career.
And this is his third career banana ball start. All of them have come with the Coconuts. Had a 4.15 career earned run average as a Savannah Banana, and now gets to battle against a lot of his former teammates. DR Meadows, Reese Alexiadis at the top, coming off of really excellent weekends in New Orleans. And Alexiadis, the only man with a home run out of the Superdome a weekend ago, and the only banana with more than 2 home runs in MLB ballparks last season.
Ball and no strikes to DR Meadows. Heck of a start to his 4th Banana Ball World Tour. He clangs one off the top deck. There's a gold standard when it comes to leadoff hitters in Banana Ball. DR and Reese Hampton. Young career, obviously Ben Parker is making a heck of a case to be a part of that conversation as well. But you got DR hitting 400, reaching base at a 500 clip, as he's just barely able to get a piece of the 1-2 changeup from Krem. It's just a 3-pitch mix for Krasminski. Fastball, circle change, slider, but they're all elite, and he'll throw any pitch in any count. One of the harder throwers in the sport as well. Constantly sits in the low 90s. Shanked ball out of the reach of Jordan Brewer. We'll do the 1-2 again.
What you don't want to forget about Austin Krasminski, 3.72 earned run average last season pitching for the Bananas. That was the lowest mark of any qualified arm in that team. They opted not to keep him. He's now a Loco Beach Coconut, and he gets this one, a ground ball to Peyton Chatagnier. No trick play for the Coconut shortstop, but Jordan Brewer lifts up the leg and fields this between the legs for the first trick play of the night for Loco Beach.
Brewer is contorting his body in ways that we have never seen from a first baseman in the sport. I think Alex Ziegler was certainly the most creative first baseman we've had. Jordan Brewer right up there with him now, as it's a moonshot out to left. Tanner Allen tip drill. Tanner Allen collects it. 2021 National Player of the Year at Mississippi State evens up the Coconuts with the Bananas at 2 trick plays apiece. As the party animal showed last weekend, you can earn the equalizer point on the Bananas. It's the first time in 5 games as the home team. The Bananas were not able to deny their opponent the equalizer, as Max Young-Goldberg has a ball and a strike on him. Slow start to his Nanners career, hitting a .188. But the discipline, the resume, the pure hitter that he is, Tyler Gillum not moving him out of that 3 spot at all.
And this is a California native. This is where he is very comfortable. Played at the University of San Diego, and he got to throw out the first pitch last night going back to his alma mater. This is a guy who's really feeling great being back here in a familiar spot.
Earns the sprint. Get to take a look at the Coconut sprint defense for the first time. It's sharp. They get it to all 7 fielders behind Krem and Vining in short order. And Bryce Grzafi quickly out of the dugout to pinch run for Young-Goldberg over at first. So Grzafi, the designated runner for the first time in his rookie campaign, with JT Sokolov on the mend. Looks like the Bananas' #1 designated runner will be out for about a month, as Oberst peppers that back up the chute. Grzafi goes first to third. Inning-winning run 90 feet away, as the Nanners DH has the first hit for the boys in yellow.
Yeah, you can only keep Dan down for so long. Was hitless last weekend in New Orleans. and greets his old teammate with a sharp single up the middle. Now men on the corners for Kyle Jackson, who has been arguably the strongest bat for the Bananas through their first 5 games.
KJ's 2 home runs pacing the squad as he's behind 0-1. Only hitting .273, but a .476 on base percentage. As he chops it foul from the guy who reached base at a .481 clip last year to lead the tour.
And just to add on to the OBP for Kyle Jackson, playing in Major League Parks last year, he got on base at a .522 clip.
Pretty ridiculous. Means more than every other trip stepping into the batter's box, he was reaching base. 1-2. Liner into right, Kyle Jackson in the clutch once again. KJ's 3rd walk-off of the year. And a heck of a piece of 2-out hitting. Nanners lead 1-0.
And that is a start that the Savannah Bananas certainly needed. The first time that they've been able to earn a walk-off and a point in the first inning this season.
Time All-Star, a San Diego Padres Hall of Famer, National Baseball Hall of Famer. Please welcome Dave Winfield.
One more time for Dave Winfield!
How about the moves from Dave Winfield, part of the 3,000 hit club, 22 years in the bigs, heck of a former major leaguer. Let's hear from another phenomenal former major leaguer. For that, we'll get it down to AJ Swiatek.
This is a whole new look for you. The teal looks good, my friend. I've got to know, what is your definition of primetime coach?
Man, just be a part of the fun, be a part of, what is going on here in Loco Beach. It's nothing more than that. I think it's one of those things is being around these boys, being around Danae, all the action and all the fun. And, I'm just here to be just, like I said, just be a part of all the joy that's happening here.
What is it about Loco Beach specifically that drew you to this team?
Oh, one, the beach, I grew up there in Maui, beach surrounding me. And then two, it's just the vibe. The energy, it's one of those things that you can find a beach anywhere in the world. There's good vibes always at a beach, so, man, it's just universal.
Coach, I've seen you hyping the guys up since you've got here in San Diego. What would your message be to the fans who are thinking, oh, is Loco Beach for me? What do you have to say to them?
It's absolutely for you. If you love going to a beach, which everybody does, then this is the place to be, so.
Who doesn't love the beach? Who doesn't love the fans? Shane, I saw you taking batting practice this week. It looked like you got. What does it feel like to be back on big league dirt?
It's always fun. It was a childhood dream of mine to get to a level that I got to, to walk away from it and to be a part of, what is going on here in Banana Ball, be a part of Loco Beach. It just brings back all those great memories.
A couple of childhood dreams fulfilled right here. That's the Flying Hawaiian. I'm AJ Swiatek. We've got to get back up to the booth. Let's go Loco, baby.
Let's go Loco. AJ, thank you very much, my friend. Always great to hear from Victorino, a Banana Ball legend, and now cementing that legacy with his role with the Coconuts.
And if there's one thing that we've kind of picked up on so far as Shane Victorino, the primetime coach for the Coconuts, he's got the mentality of just telling this team to play as hard as they possibly can. He wants to see these guys ripping trick plays and going full out, whether it's defensively at the plate or running these bases. So that's what you're going to expect from Victorino at all the games he's with this squad.
So we get the kids dressed up as elephants off the field. The professional Banana Ball players ready to resume their duel here in San Diego. Ashby Vining, Dane Toffland, Peyton Chatagnier, 5, 6, and 7 for Loco Beach here in their second inning offensively. Chance for the fans. Bobbled, caught after the bobble, so it cannot be an out. Heck of a play. Congrats to that guy. Happy for you. You get a souvenir. Ashby Vining gets to keep swinging it. Another chance for the fans into the second deck. Not caught. 0-2 count on the kid out of Lexington, South Carolina. 2025 visitor, standout on that squad. On Banana Ball's developmental team, playing for Coach Crocco for 2 straight years now. I mean, Vining pretty much couldn't do anything wrong last year. Couple home runs, absolutely smashed balls. Showman of the Game award.
I mean, I would say he still hasn't done anything wrong, even with the Loco Beach Coconuts. He's got hits in each of his first 10 career Banana Ball games, and now pops the 1-2 pitch into the infield. Jackson Olsen will gather this behind his back, and it's always Jackson Olsen with that little tell. He pats the glove with his hand, rips it behind the back, and now the Bananas back out in front in that trick play lead, 3-2.
4th trick play on the year for Olsen, who missed last Saturday's contest as a guest at a wedding. It's the only game he's missed this year. And now Big Dane Toffland hitting .471. Smashes this straightaway center. DR Meadows cannot catch up to it. And the Great Dane, as they call him, another extra base hit, his tour-leading 4th double. He'll quickly give way to Armani Henderson, the Coconuts' designated runner. So back-to-back innings with a runner in scoring position for Loco Beach. Now Peyton Chatanier, the shortstop. Hitting .214 across 5 games. But a .353 on base percentage. And a foul out to the fans. Beautiful barehanded grab by that guy off the first base line. Heck of a play by, that fell off the right field line. And now charging in, Reese Alexiadis, tip drill behind the back. Snazzy trick play from Super Reese with a runner in scoring position.
And that was something he was practicing in batting practice this morning. The tip drills gathering them behind his back, and with the little tornado spin, impressive stuff, and 2 scoreless frames from AD.
Behind third base and all the way out in left field, the best in class of San Diego.
Yeah. You might have that side, but I got all of right field and all of the first base side, and we call this the winning section. First song, Shark.
Here we go.
The first base and right field side. Next song.
Come on, let's get loud. Let's get it back.
Here we go.
To the bottom of the second inning we go. Nanners lead 1-0. Austin Drury has stranded 2 Coconuts in scoring position so far. And it'll be Bill Leroy, Jackson Olsen, Robert Anthony Cruz against Austin Krasminski, their former Nanners teammate across the last 2 tours. Couple Georgia boys battling here in the birthplace of California. Bill Leroy playing some tricks with his counterpart, Mr. Vining. 2-0 count on the Nanners captain. Pride of Dublin, Georgia. He bounces one to third. Toughlin between the legs. Seed across the diamond in plenty of time. Quick out, third trick play of the night for the Coconuts.
Yeah, and Dane Toughlin, he's never really doing anything too flashy. That's just the second trick play of his career. But he seems to do everything the right way when it comes to banana ball. He's got great feel out there defensively, has looked awfully smooth at third base. And again, just hitting the cover off the ball for this team.
Speaking of hitting the cover off the ball, Jackson Olsen comes in hitting .364. Smokes this one deep out to left. Tanner Allen had him played perfectly. And Sans Jersey makes a fine running catch. 2 away for Robert Anthony Cruz here in his home state with a specialty walk-up.
Number 15, Robert
Rack in his early 2000s era. You know, I never really got into that tune.
Was there a reason?
I just don't think I was really aware of it.
Just too into Stadium Arcadiums. I get it.
Literally. Speaking of California kids. 2 balls, no strikes on Robert Anthony Cruz. Chopper to Sal Jacobo. Coconuts designated fielder between the legs. Jordan Brewer between the legs with the snag at first. A double trick play. 3 of them on the inning for the Coconuts, and they're up 5-4 in trick plays through 2.
That's the impact of Jordan Brewer. He is fearless at first base, and that caps off 1 minute and 39 seconds for Austin Krizminski in the second.
And hello, YouTube. We're not actually broadcasting this game anywhere else, but it's a t-shirt toss going on. We should chat. What's going on?
We wanted to give this one just to you guys tonight. We're still trying to make you guys feel special.
No doubt about it. Even here in year 7 as a sport. How about the Indianapolis Clowns? Breaking news if you don't want to know what happened in Riverwalk Stadium, Montgomery, Alabama. Mute your computer, phone, tablet, whatever, now, because the Coconuts, 4-3 victors, get their second ever win.
Clowns.
Yeah, the Clowns, rather. Sorry about that. Jalen Vasquez against Ben Dum, tie game, top of the 9th inning, foul home run. Very next pitch, Josh Chalevsky.
Fair home run.
You betcha. Turned out to be a game winner.
Son of a gun.
Nick Wilson, 3 up, 3 down in the bottom half. Got 6 outs. Clowns won the 8th and 9th innings. It's a heck of a ball club, so now the Clowns and Firefighters are both 2 and 4, which means these Loco Beach Coconuts, as Grady Morgan smokes that foul, are currently in the Banana Ball Open. They're a half game better than the Firefighters. And if the 11 games were over right now, Coconuts would be the number 4 seed in our mid-season tournament, Grayson Stadium. That'll be April 5th, or 16th rather, through the 19th. 1-2 count on Morgan. Austin Drury out for a 3rd inning of relief. Good job by Grady to hang tight for about an hour and a half up the road. South LA, Laguna Beach, California. Goes down swinging. Nasty slider there from Drury as he gets his first strikeout of the night.
Yeah, you just see the movement on that slider out of the hand of Austin Drury, courtesy of our umpire, Cam. That is definitely the big out pitch for AD, who's now got something special for us on the pitcher's mound.
Looks like he's gathered the Avengers. DR starts. Some fun from Cox. Olsen shaking the hair. Drury shaking everything. And fastball scrapes the inside corner. Ball and a strike on JD Urso. Born in Lake Elsinore, California. It's a line drive for originally a California kid. Most of his growing up in the Tampa, Florida area, but still tons of family here in the Golden State. Got dozens of friends and family. The ball games this weekend here in San Diego. And a nice start for Urso. This is only his second career start with the Coconuts. First time was as the DH. Now he gets the start at second, although Sal Jacobo's been out defensively for him so far. And sets up the top of the order very nicely. Ben Parker grounded out to start the ball game. He's got a 1-1 count on him. Smoked foul. Holy moly. All the way to the third tack. Ball and 2 strikes on the man they call Benny Pumps. Bodybuilding is his passion. Banana ball is his side hustle. Another one of the few players in the sport you feel like was built for banana ball. As Parker spoils another 2-strike offering. And the fans cannot catch the towering foul ball.
Again, all this guy does is hit right now for the Loco Beach Coconuts on a streak of 4 straight multi-hit games for this team. 2 of which have been 3-hit games, the other 2-hit games. And Parker laces another one foul. And, I mean, they're just laser beam after laser beam. They're impossible for the fans to catch.
Swing and a miss. Ben Parker's first career strikeout comes against a fellow first rounder, Austin Drury. Pulls the string, gets him swinging.
Well, you see Austin Drury, he lives by that fastball so much early in counts. It sets up the slider and the changeup that he's able to get these strikeouts with against Coconuts and other opponents. Again, entering play tonight, Drury striking out 26% of all batters. And Bill Leroy will gun down JD Urso trying to swipe second base. And the Bananas, with an unconventional 3-up, 3-down frame, thanks to the great throw from Leroy behind the dish.
Another look. Whoa! The Coconut should challenge that. It looks like they're not gonna, and it's time for our Bananas Foster family of the game.
Across the United States, there are over 400,000 children and teens in foster care without a permanent home. Look around. That's enough to fill Petco Park 9 times with the amount of kiddos currently looking for a permanent home. To raise awareness and help support this community, we created Bananas Foster, the official nonprofit of Banana Ball. Our organization is dedicated to celebrating those who are already making a difference in the foster care world, while educating and inspiring others to get involved. Tonight, we get to celebrate the Yagman family. In California, we have the highest number of children in foster care in the nation, with over 40,000 kids in care. Sarah, who is a social worker, and her husband, Tony, saw the need for more foster families and decided to become a licensed family themselves to provide that safe and loving home for kids in need. Once becoming licensed, they wanted to provide that relationship with children after they were unified with them. and so they stay in touch with children after they go back to biological family. Over the last 16 years, they have welcomed 47 children into their home. Fans, please help us celebrate this incredible family for all that they're doing right here in this community.
Well, another huge shout out to the Yagman family.
One more time for tonight.
Sarah and Tony, their big goal, it's all about reunification. That's what foster care is all about. Say it again and again, it bears repeating. But superheroes in the foster care community here in Southern California. Certainly massive heroes for the 47 kiddos they've welcomed into their home. And now the Banana Band blasting away for the full capacity crowd, over 42K in Petco Park tonight. Third Banana Ball game ever held here in the home of the San Diego Padres. It's one of the best venues in all of baseball. Nearly brings a tear to my eye looking at it as we speak.
The views just don't get better here, man. I am flabbergasted.
How about the spiffy new unis from the Banana Band? Always plussing the experience here in their 11th year of existence.
Sexy sex got sexier. That's all I gotta say.
Didn't think it was possible.
I did. I just didn't think it was gonna be because of the uniforms.
Oh, I was wondering why I couldn't comprehend anything in the chat. It's because it's all in Spanish. I'm watching Jose's broadcast. I was like, what's everybody talking in a different language?
Hola, Pico.
Jose's got a great community going over on the Spanish broadcast as Danny Hosley launches this one out to right center. Gideon Antel, tip drill. He'll barehanded out of the sky. And Austin Krasminski, 2 pitches, 1 down here in his 3rd inning on the bump. Coconuts with a 2 trick play advantage as they try and earn the equalizer point. Antel, his 3rd trick play in as many tries this year. The first, of course, the infamous one on the opening night.
And both he and Parker were rushing over to field that ball in right center field. It was Antel who made the earlier call. Parker gave way to him, and that's what allowed him to have the time to figure out what trick play he wanted to land to now put the Coconuts up 2 in that trick play battle.
0-1 pitch. Makes it a ball and a strike to Ryan Cox. Might surprise you to hear is tied with Ben Parker for the tour lead in batting average. Hitting .500 and sneaks that fair down the left field line. Coxey now 5 for 9 on the year with a 1-out double, a little slip on second base. Inning-winning run in scoring position.
Look, he has never been known for his extra base hit prowess. He's got 3 of them already this season. 2 doubles, a triple for Ryan Cox. Again, he is a superstar at the bottom of this Savannah Bananas lineup, and just trying to work on feeding the top as DR Meadows back in the box, 0 for 1 with a ground out, his first time up.
And a 2-0 count now. Yeah, in Parker's case, you expect a guy who'd be tied for the tour lead in batting average to be at the top of the lineup. Ryan Cox is the 10-hole hitter for the Bananas. As DR sneaks this through the 6-hole, a stop sign for Coxey from Bananas third base coach Bryce Stober. DR 1 for 2 on the night. Pushes the inning-winning run 90 feet closer, and now Reese Alexiadis tied for the tour lead with his 3 walk-offs on this young season. Came in as the sole leader in inning enders. Kyle Jackson, walk-off single in the first, has now tied Super Reese. Middle infield double play depth for the Coconuts. Tofflin in at third, Brewer holding on Meadows at first. 2 balls, no strikes. The kid out of Manhattan Beach, California, flew out to left his first time. There goes Meadows, called strike, and Vining does not even think about throwing down to second. DR, his tour-leading 7th steal in as many tries, as now the whole infield is in for the Coconuts. That's gonna do it. Super Reese Alexiadis demolished out to right center, just barely misses a 3-run homer. He'll have to settle for an inning-winning walk-off double. As the Bananas double their lead, they're up 2-0.
Now 4 walk-offs for Reese Alexiadis this season and a 2-point advantage for the Savannah Bananas. Super Reese now with a 6-game on-base streak for Savannah. And Ryan Cox riding the bike, the exercise bike at home plate.
Good for Coxie. No excuses. You can always get a workout in anytime, any place. It's been one of my mottos in life. I've slacked over the last decade immensely, but it's still a motto. Let's get it down to Jesse Cole.
Because this game is called Most Valuable Parents. We have 4-year-old Noah with his mom and his dad, and we're going to ask some questions. And based on the answer, the loser will get pied in the face. So, Noah, the first question. Who makes the most yummy food? Daddy! Mommy gets the pie to the face here. All right, Mommy down. You're not gonna get in trouble. You're good. And go. Oh, this is so sweet. Oh, all right. All right, next question. Who is stronger, Mommy or Daddy? Daddy. He said Mommy earlier. All right, here we go. The sweetest kid. All right, no, last question. Who gives the best hugs, Mommy or Daddy?
Daddy.
Oh my God. All right. Let's give it up for 4-year-old Noah. Great job, Mommy. Daddy, you're killing it at home. Great job, Dad. Mom, you got some work to do. Great job.
I need somebody help, not just anybody. No, I need someone. When I was younger, so much younger than today, never needed anybody's help in any way. But now these days are gone, I'm not so selfish. Now I find a dream of mine, opening up the doors. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please help me, help me, help me.
And how about that for an official reveal? Sitting on Saturn, really talented musicians, the official Loco Beach Coconuts band.
I love these guys.
I'm obsessed.
There is nothing I've enjoyed more this weekend than just getting to hear them jam out. Whether it's been in the ballpark or out on that stage beyond center field in that batter's eye, these guys rip.
Ball and no strikes to Tanner Allen, 2, 3, and 4 in the Coconuts lineup here as we kick off our 4th frame. Coconuts trailing 2. Allen grounded out his first time. Make it 2-1 now. Yeah, Sitting on Saturn, first song they played during their rehearsal was Santeria by Sublime, and I've been head over heels ever since. Been playing some 311,
Shout out Omaha, Nebraska. Kyle Perry, part of their introduction. He was fired up about it. Foul ball not caught in the seats. And they were covering a little indie band, the Beatles. I don't think they ever found much worldwide success, but they were a smash hit over in England. I hope they do Bob Dylan. I gotta get up there and do Bob Dylan with them. You think you should be the singer? For a Bob Dylan number, yeah. Right, okay, all right. Let's get the 2-2, and then I'd like an audition, if you're up for it. Foul ball, Josh Dolevsky. Well, they were doing Living on a Prayer, I know. Yeah, Bob Dylan could definitely sing that.
Tell me it's the work on the dogs. Union's been on strike. He's down on his luck. It's tough. So tough.
It's pretty good. I'm giving that like a 9-4 out of 10. Second deck, not caught, right off the shoulder. Good battle between Tanner Allen and Austin Drury. Pair of former minor leaguers. Tanner Allen making his big league park debut at the Coconuts tonight. Slow roller going to be a tough play. Olsen, barehand, behind the back, not in time. Allen's got great speed, able to beat the wrap. And the official scoring decision, Josh.
I want to give that just a clean hit. Allen getting down the line well enough. I really don't know if that behind the back flip is the difference maker in that play. I think Olsen can barehand it, flip it still, and there's a pretty great chance that Tanner Allen is still safe at first base.
Jordan Brewer, skyscraper down the right field line. Alexiadis makes the snag. For one out. Yep, Mom. You've got me hook, line, and sinker. So an infield single for Tanner Allen. Brewer, who doubled his first time, flies out. And now Eric Osberg, who flew out his first time. Bender scrapes the bottom of the zone. Osberg disagrees with Vincent Chapman. That's a screamer into right. Allen thinking about first to third, throw behind him. Oh, he's out! Heads up play by Alexiadis, quick tag by Cox. Tanner Allen wants this one reviewed. We'll see. For now, he's gunned down at second.
Crocco's asking for the headsets to come on.
That's why you hit your cutoff man, kids. That's just...
At least it looked like it. I saw Crocco signaling with the headphones over his ears, but I'm seeing no effort from the umpiring crew to go to a review, and now Allen's coming off the base paths. It's just going to stand as is.
Yeah, Mark Crocco, I guess, is letting the game play on. Okay. This is bizarre. Crocco he's barking at Vincent Chapman. This is one of the nicest human beings on planet Earth, Mark Crocco. But he's going to fight for his guys. Ashby Vining, did he go? No, says Andrew Gerard, the first base umpire and crew chief. So Vining's going to have to get it done with 2 outs. Osberg on first base does not run very well. Look out, Ashby. Talked about it at the top of the show. Austin Drury has been known to plunk an opponent or two. That's a nasty 2-1 delivery. Evens up the count. Deuce is wild. Vining able to get a piece. And another foul ball on the 2-2. Good fight by Vining.
You know, the Coconuts just have to try and do something. AD working more than he has in other innings to this point. The pitch count continues to go up. You just hope you can work a mistake. But Ryan Cox dives, shovels this out of the glove, and in time to Olsen covering the bag at second base. And it's yet another clean frame from AD. 4 straight scoreless innings
for the Bananas tonight against the Loco Beach Coconuts, and that weather getting flashed to end the inning.
Another level. So I need everyone on your feet. Capacity crowd here in San Diego on your feet, because we're going to do a tradition here in Banana Land, a little hey baby. So get those hands up in the air. Hands up in the air all the way around the stadium. And let's get it going. Clap it up. Here we go. Now let me see you sway those arms. Here we go. Keep it going. Hands up. Now keep it clapping as we shuffle. Oh, you guys look good tonight. Now let me hear you sing it. Here we go. One more time, San Diego. You guys are amazing. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Pretty ridiculous scene on hand here at Petco Park in San Diego, California. Drake Fontenot, the first man out of either bullpen here tonight, the #2 overall draft pick, a really phenomenally talented right-hander for the Coconuts.
And as far as the player draft went, he was the #3 overall player on my big board entering that draft. The Coconuts rightly took him very early. And so far, opponents, they're just 3 for 18 against Drake Fontenot, but he's hit 2 batters, allowed 4, ball 4 sprints. That's why you see the earned run average currently above 7 for Fontenot. And they're still working him up into that starter's role right now, but you've got to hope that at some point he's the frontline starter for this Coconut squad. Otherwise, that is a high pick for somebody who's just eating up middle innings.
Max Young-Goldberg, a root greeting for Fontenot. Looper up the chute. And after a sprint his first time, MJG aboard once again, and once again immediately gives way to Bryce Grisaffi, who scored in Young-Goldberg's stead to win the first inning for the Bananas, who lead 2-0. Dan Oberst only saw 1 pitch against his former teammate Austin Krasminski. He sent it right back up the middle. Grizz taken off for second. Throw from Vining is not caught on the fly by Sal Jacobo. Grisaffi fired up. His first career banana ball stolen base.
And that's what he mentioned during Banana Ball backstage today. He said, if I'm in this game and I get to run, I'm trying to steal a base across the first 3 pitches I see from whoever's on that mound. Second pitch out of the hand of Fontenot to Oberst, Grisaffi off and running, and he said, I'm really aggressive. That's how I'm approaching this role. And he's off and running and will swipe third with a no throw, despite Oberst going down swinging against the righty Fontenot.
Yeah, Grisaffi stole that one on Fontenot. He got a killer start. Drake with a nasty slider to take care of Oberst. But the inning-winning run 90 feet away, the Coconuts have to bring the infield in. Fontenot waving at Kyle Jackson, who returns the favor. KJ, did he hold up? Yes, says third base umpire Eric Byram. Liner to right, won the first inning for the Bananas. Kyle Jackson smashes it, and that'll win the 4th inning for the Bananas. 2 trips to the dish, 2 walk-off knocks for KJ. Manners lead 3-0 through 4 frames.
Now 3 for 5, batting with runners in scoring position this season. Kyle Jackson continuing to be that major offensive force for the Nanners.
You know how chaotic it can get. And it's usually up to our dads to be the one to pick up. Dads, there you are. We got, down here we got Jason representing the Mendel family, and we got Drew representing the Mercer family. Here's how this is gonna work. They're going to race around the bases, picking up after their family's day at the beach. Starting at first, we have all the toys. At second, we have their lounging wives and their chairs. At third, we have their kids, and they're bringing the family and all the gear home. Whoever dad gets to home with their family and gear first will be crowned king of the beach. Dads, are you ready? All right, starting in 3, 2, 1, go! And they are off. You gotta get all the toys in your bag. Pick up after your kids. The kids are doing nothing. They're dancing over there. Moms are just staring. Come on, oh, we got a breakaway, come on. Oh, okay, we got the chair. You gotta put it in the bag. Put the chair in the bag. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. Come on. Now have that wipe up on. All right. Now make your way to third. Go get your kids. It's anyone's game at this point. Who is it gonna be? We have the lead right now. Hey! Give it up for Jason and his family. They are the kings of the beach.
Oh gosh, a riveting and terrifying relay race for yours truly. As you get a look, Kelsey Whitmore, the pride of Temecula, California, got her first career banana ball strikeout last year here in San Diego.
She's missing out on the hibachi. That looks like a hibachi chef in the bullpen.
I missed out on the hibachi chef as well. I was focused on the #1 overall pick in the Women's Professional Baseball League getting loose in the pen. Jacob Bazela, who's been unbelievable, just unbelievable. 10th round pick for the Nanners in the 2026 Banana Ball Player Draft, and he's looking like a steal. Yet to give up a run in 4 innings this year.
Yeah, they're getting immense value from Jacob Bazela, a guy who's gotten to play catch on the beach. I heard he might have wrestled a shark already this weekend in San Diego.
I can confirm that.
The big goal for him, though, is just to continue to rack up as many innings as possible without allowing an earned run. Right now, he's been 5.1 runs better than a replacement level pitcher. That is tops amongst all Savannah Bananas. And it's soft contact from Dane Coughlin, and Ryan Cox unable to collect the bare hand grab after tipping that up to himself. So a trick play missed will put a man in scoring position for the Coconuts here, top 5.
That is so rare for the all-time leader in trick plays to miss a gimme. That's a layup for Coxie. Armani Henderson in for the 2nd time as a pinch runner tonight. Coconuts designated runner. And now Peyton Chatanier fouled out to the fans his first time. He's got a ball and a strike on him. It's been a historic weekend for our young sport already. Saw the Party Animals and Tailgaters break the single game trick play record last night in Sacramento. 32 combined, 18 from the Party Animals. Or 19 from the Party Animals, 13 from the Tailgaters. As that's a swing to miss. Splitter from Bazela. Disgusting as he emotes on the mound.
He's oozing confidence right now. He's talking about things entering this weekend, and he just feels confident in every offering he's got on that pitcher's mound. He was talking about He's getting more run on his fastball than ever before, but he says that the adjustment with the banana ball to throwing that slider and splitter has been pretty much non-existent. He feels just as confident in those two offerings on the pitcher's mound, and you've seen a lot of swing and miss stuff like that against Peyton Chatagnier.
Slow roller, but it's fouled off of Gideon Antell. So it's an 0-2 count on the Coconuts right fielders, off to a tear of a start to his young banana ball career. Comes in hitting .353. Had the game-winning home run and trick play on the opening night of the tour in Tallahassee. Take down the Firefighters. And he goes down swinging. The Bananas, nope, not strike two. Our score bugs in the future. And now the game has caught up to it. Danny Hosley between the legs for a trick play. Ziggy will snag it the old-fashioned way over at first for the second out. Bananas still one trick play behind the Coconuts as Loco Beach trying to earn the equalizer point. They'll get it if they maintain this trick play lead going into the ninth. 1-0 coming to Grady Morgan, who struck out his first time. He's ahead 2-0. Got to look at another one of the splitters from Bazela. Fastball, low 90s, slider, curveball, knuckleball to round it out. Going for third, Armani Henderson's dead meat. Bill Leroy guns down his second Coconut tonight. Henderson thrown out stealing for the first time in his young banana ball career, and that will close the top of the fifth.
Second time Bill has gunned down a Loco Beach Coconut. Both times it has ended the frame for Loco Beach, so some base running blunders, and they are still scoreless in tonight's game.
Hey, I'm here with
AJ
Mr. One-of-One himself, Kyle Perry. Kyle, I know that you're a big card collector. It's all in the number, and I've got a little surprise for you here.
Oh, what do you got?
Got a fat pack, and we're going to open it live right now. Let's get some live reactions.
Let's do it. Let's do it, bro.
The new Top 75th series. Kyle, what do you know about the set?
Dude, 2026? I mean, it's the 75th anniversary for Topps. Admittedly, I've opened a lot of this product already, and it was released, I think, like a month ago. But I like a good fat pack. My dad got a pretty sick Mason Wynn card out of an autograph out of 50. Out of a fat pack a couple years ago, so.
All right, let's fly through the base and get straight to the hits.
No way, dude. No way. My teammate Bryce Matthews is the first card. Literally first card. My teammate from Nebraska, first rounder to the Astros. Debuted last year. Look at that. So cool. All right, that's Bryce. All right, I'm sorry. San Diego Padres, Xander Bogaerts. That picture was taken here probably. And my rush, Shohei, the absolute GOAT. I mean, it's always a win if you get him in a pack. Dude, incredible. Great pack already.
The good stuff in a pack like this is all hiding towards the back.
Right. That is true. Here you go. You want to get these off my hands?
Yeah, KP, I'm hearing that there's fans in the chat, and they want you to sign a card that's going to be given away. Can you do that?
Yeah, let's do it. Dude, let's sign Bryce's. Unless we get something a lot cooler than that, but I don't know if anything's going to top that. Get your hands together for Bill Leroy, everybody. Junior Caminero. Ooh, that's pretty right there. Great ball player. Brady House. Bobby Witt Jr. Doesn't get much better than that. James Wood. That's a W pack right there, man.
I mean, if you can't tell this guy loves the hobby, I don't know what'll do it. He's going to sign this card of his former teammate. You've got a chance in the YouTube chat. If you want a Kyle Perry inscribed baseball card, all you've got to do is follow the instructions in the chat, and one of you lucky fans,
Husker fans,
is going to walk away with the 101, preferably Husker fan.
That's right, dude. Go Big Red. Get this card.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you, AJ. Man, Kyle Perry, one of the funniest guys in the sport, as Leroy sneaks that through the left side of the infield. He's now 1 for 2 on the night. Saw a Boss fan in the YouTube chat wondering why is KP's number 1/1. Well, he's an avid sports card collector, as you can see right there, and a 1/1 card is the greatest thing you can ever have when it comes to collecting cards. And KP said Well, he's one of one, and also we're all one of one, right? There's no duplicate of you out there, and he wants everybody to know that.
Not that I know of.
Correct, right.
There could be.
The day I run into another Josh Jalewski.
It's my evil twin or something.
Tosh Jalewski. That sounds downright terrifying.
Evil Josh. I'm not messing with that guy. I'm taking him out.
Force to be reckoned with. Beautiful changeup from Drake Fontenot out for his second inning of relief.
And he hates stats.
Swing and a miss. Fontenot sits down Olsen as Drake, his second K of the night. Fontenot is starting to catch some steam. I think when all is said and done, he's going to have a phenomenal rookie campaign in the sport. As Robert Anthony Cruz, barrel alert, deep out to right. Gideon Antel has it played perfectly. Throwing behind Bill Leroy, throws off line. As the Nanners captain able to escape a bit of a dicey situation there. The inning continues. To Danny Hosley, with Leroy still the inning-winning run at first. Nanners up 3-0. And Haas ahead, a ball and no strikes. Fontenot was the 2025 Gulf South Conference Pitcher of the Year at Delta State. Through 39 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings. That's a Delta State record. It's the 5th longest streak in Division II baseball history. And we saw Fontenot at the peak of his powers last year against the Bananas. 5 scoreless frames, 4 Ks, July 11th in Grayson Stadium. That was certainly a factor in Drake going number 2 overall. 2-2. Fouled straight back. We'll do it again.
And Mark Rocco instantly fell in love with Drake Fontenot. He was the frontline starter that entire 5-game span for the visitors, and knew that he had to get this guy back on his squad. Was bought in from an entertainment standpoint as well. And now trying to pitch inside to Danny Hosley will clip him. And Hosley shaking off that hand a little bit, but not too worse for wear. He'll trot down to first base.
You see Danny saying, "I'm all right" to Adam Virant. What you like to see if you're a Bananas fan, or a fan of the sport in general, is that was the left hand, so not Hosley's pitching arm, which of course is of immense importance to the Savannah Bananas. Sure, Hosley is the man to go in the 9th if the game is tight tonight. So now the inning-winning run into scoring position. Ryan Cox doubled his first time. Scored the inning-winning run in the 3rd. He's ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Now 5 for 9 on the season, with 3 ball 4 sprints and only 1 strikeout. As Fontenot goes to the bender to get his first strike. Oh boy, dangerous 3-1 coming. Can't find the back door there. Ball 4 wins the inning for the Bananas. And Cox taken all the way. Late strike call. Payoff. Runners on the move. Coxey spoils it. Certainly too close to take. We'll do it again. Looked like Chapman might have been going ball 4 sprint.
Gotta make up your mind.
Turned it into a strike call as this chopper is going to Jacobo. Gets a trick play going between the legs. And Fontenot bends but does not break. Strands the inning-winning run in scoring position and keeps the deficit at just 3 points through 5 innings of action. Coconut's offense has got to wake up. We'll see if they can do it after we witness some fans bashing into each other with big balls.
CJ, what's up down there, buddy? This is a big ball game, which means it's time for one of my favorite games. It's time to play big balls. But this is the San Diego edition. So, down here we have 4 contestants representing some of their favorite shops here in San Diego. Up first, we got contestant number 1, Alberto's. Over here we have contestant number 2, Filiberto's. You're noticing a pattern. Contestant number 3, Umberto's. And contestant number 4, Rigobertos. How this is going to work is these 4 contestants are going to run towards each other on my mark, and they are going to collide. The last man standing will be the winner of Big Balls. Let's get it going, and collide, go! Oh! We got one out, we're gonna go again, and collide. Oh! I think we got 2 left, ultimate showdown between Albertos and Rigobertos, and collide. Oh, go again, we're going again, collide. Oh, we have a winner! Give it up for Alberto!
Always a thrilling mid-inning promotion. That would be Big Balls, of course. Josh, you're a fan of Big Balls?
Always have been.
I figured. Jacob Bazela out for his 2nd inning of relief. Came into the game unscored upon in 4 frames. He's got that tally up to 5 innings now. 9, 10, and 1 in the Coconuts lineup. Grady Morgan, J.D. Urso, and then back at the top, the ever-dangerous Ben Parker. Grady struck out swinging his first time, was at the dish when Armani Henderson got thrown out trying to steal 3rd to close out the top of the 5th. So he kind of gets another look at Bazela here, as that one scrapes the inside corner.
And again, the Coconuts are running into this buzzsaw that is the Bananas pitching staff. They're a team that heats up as the game progresses, as Morgan will spray this one into foul territory. High pop, the fans unable to come away with the snag. Coconuts, they're batting just 137 as a team through the first 3 innings of play. From there, a 323 team average. In the middle innings, they're batting over 400 in the late stages of ball games. So they've got to hope that these bats heat up as Morgan gets plunked on Bazela's 0-2 offering.
First batter hit by Bazela in his young banana ball career. Oh my gosh, Morgan goes down. What's happening?
Here, fishy, 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 here, fishy, 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 fishing off the pier. Well, I've got my rod and I've got my bait. All I've got to do is sit here and wait for the big,
All right, I guess what was happening was like a little Here Fishy Fishy song, and Anthony Marks and Will Etheridge posed with their big catch. That is a big catch. 6'2" fish. Well, now J.D. Urso, national champion last spring, the University of Tampa, alongside C.J. Williams, Coconuts closer. Heck of a stop, Bill Leroy. Keeps Morgan at first base. You know, going back to Grady Morgan reaching, little fun part of this Coconut squad, Grady Morgan was the 2021 JUCO National Player of the Year. Best baseball player in all of junior college. We talked about it earlier tonight, but that was the same year that Tanner Allen was the D1 National Player of the Year. Whew. A lot of talent in teal. That one just misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Urso. Singled his first time, as Bazela will check on Morgan. He's yet to attempt a steal in his young banana ball career. Slow tapper, going to be a tough play. And Kyle Jackson can't make it. Tries to go between the legs. Official scoring decision. Josh Talevsky.
That's a trick play missed for me.
Trick play missed. Either way, Urso is aboard for the 2nd time tonight. How about the 2 guys at the bottom of the order? Morgan and Urso reach for Parker, their leadoff man. And Ben's ahead 1-0. Fastball misses up. Parker came in hitting .500, 0 for 2, ground out, and his first strikeout of the tour. Austin Drury won the battle both times, with first rounders squaring off. Pick number 4 against Parker, pick number 7. As Leroy throws behind Urso, he's back safely to first. 3-0 count, ball 4 will be the first earned run
in Jacob Bazala's career. Parker taken all the way. Heater gets the top of the zone. (3-1). And Bazala misses. So in one fell swoop, Jake allows his first run ever. Really sloppy ball for sprint defense by the Bananas. 2 runs will score as Urso comes in from first. Couple stakes for Ben Parker. And the Coconuts' first runs of the game will be celebrated by Blake Benson. Some Blake dancing, as we like to call it. Danae Benitez getting in on the action, and then, boy, that shark bears shocking resemblance to Andy Archer. That's a dolphin? That's not a dolphin, that's a shark. Chad Reese, our producer, is trying to tell me that's a dolphin. That's a shark.
Look, he's a bird watcher. You can't trust what he tells you when it comes to marine life.
Yeah, come on, Chad, keep your expertise in the sky, buddy. Stay out of the ocean, that's my ground. Or lack
Stay out
thereof.
of Biko's monster soup.
Yeah, come on. Tanner Allen, hot one. Alex Ziegler able to gobble it up, grabs a trick play with the flip behind his back to the glove. Another great hustle by Allen, busting it down the first baseline. It is a productive out as it pushes Parker over to third. The tour leader in runs scored with 7 of them, 90 feet away, with 2 already in this frame. Jordan Brewer looking for some insurance. That's not going to do it. Tip from KJ to Cox, the knee juggle double trick play. And that might be it for Jacob Bazala. Let's see.
Now coming to pitch from the U.S. Women's National Baseball Team and the #1 draft pick in the Women's Professional Baseball League from San Diego, California, Kelsey Whitmore.
What a special moment for Kelsey Whitmore, born and raised just up the street in Temecula, California. Die-hard San Diego Padres fan for as long as she can remember. Grew up dreaming of playing in Petco Park and got her first career strikeout last year against the Firefighters here.
Yeah, came against Stephen Cullen of the Firefighters, and not only did she get that first career K, she earned the win on September 5th here in her home state, and now she will get to face off against Danae Benitez, who got the start last weekend for the Loco Beach Coconuts, and now comes off the bench batting in the place of Eric Osberg.
Danae's second career banana ball at bat is against the #1 pick in the WPBL draft. Danae was the #7 overall snag. 2-0 count. Kelsey faced the #6 overall draft pick, Ashton Lansdell, last week in the Superdome in New Orleans and struck out Ashton looking. As it's a 2-1 offering from Whitmore to Benitez. Nasty bender, whiffed on. Deuce is wild with Parker still leading off third. Called strike 3. Danae not a fan of the call from Vincent Chapman at all. Kelsey, that is back-to-back punch-outs of future WPBL opponents. And Kelsey with her second career Petco Park strikeout. Let's hear from her. For that, we'll go down to Michael Schwartz.
Hey, what's up, Biko? I'm with Kelsey's parents, her uncle, auntie, and her brother, and they are watching with so much pride. And I think we actually have a special guest. Her dad, Scott, has an earpiece on. Kelsey, I think, can Kelsey hear me now? We're doing a little cross-field action right now. Kelsey, can you hear me? All right, well, I am sitting with your parents right now. And message for you.
Hey, Kelsey, congratulations, well done. I just wanted to say we're really, really proud of you, kid.
It's awesome.
Love watching you play, and keep up the good work.
Do we want to say go, Kelsey?
Thanks for all the love.
You did awesome.
Say go, Kelsey.
Hey, Kelsey, I love you.
We love you, Kelsey.
Love you guys.
What a cool moment for the entire Whitmore extended family. Kelsey gets the cake and gets to celebrate with her people. But 2 runs across in the top of the 6th inning for the Coconuts, their first runs of the affair tonight. Drake Fontano out for his 3rd inning of relief. He's got the top of this Nanners lineup, Meadows, Alexiadis, and Young Goldberg. DR singled his last time. 1 for 2 on the night. That is a turbo sinker from Drake Fontano. It is pretty crazy movement. He's got a slider, curveball, and changeup to round out the arsenal. You saw one of the breaking balls right there. I mean, that is a really good contact hitter. Coming up empty and a hitter's count on that sinker. 2-2 served into right. DR makes the adjustment and has himself his 2nd hit of the night. That brings the inning tying run up to the dish. David Ray so good at applying the pressure. Swiped the base his last time at first. As we get an appearance from our bat boy, who races off this field, record speed, still displaying his handiwork. Ball and no strikes on Reese Alexiadis. Walk-off double won the 3rd inning for the Bananas. Slow tapper to 3rd, Dane Tofflin to 2nd for 1. Jacobo over to 1st, throws off line. Wouldn't have really had a chance to double up Alexiadis on a ball hit that softly anyway. So a fielder's choice. Reese discontent with his performance. And Max Young Goldberg behind 0-1. A sprint his first time, a single back in the 4th. Bryce Grzafi has scored in his stead both times, both inning-winning runs. So MJG's been the Bananas' best table setter tonight, as he lofts this deep out to right center. Plenty of room for Antel, who will throw behind Alexiadis, scampering back to 1st. Good bounce back from Fontano after the leadoff single. He's an out away from putting the Coconuts on the board.
After 3 trick plays this last half inning for the Bananas, Coconuts are down a trick play to the Bananas in this battle. I'm surprised Antel did not try and go for any kind of tip drill. Maybe suspecting that Alexiadis would tag if he did tip the banana ball. Either way, he's very focused on just making sure that the Coconuts can win this inning right now. I think that was the big reason you didn't see any kind of trickery from the Coconuts right fielder. 100%.
And now Dan Oberst represents the Frames tying run. Front door bender gets Fontano ahead. Dan 1 for 2, singled his first time, struck out against Fontano. A looper towards center, Parker attacking, diving catch to put a point on the board for Loco Beach. It's a 3-1 game through 6.
2 runs batted in the top half of the inning, and a diving catch to secure the point in the bottom half. Great plays from Ben Parker, and the Coconuts now only trail by 2.
3 points to 1, the Bananas lead through 6 innings of action. There's the hibachi chef. Looks like Alan Sadoff took him from the bullpen, bringing him out to the middle of the madness here in Petco Park. Excited to see, all right, no, Big Al couldn't make the catch on the first flip. What do we got, veggies? You think those are cucumbers, folks? Would love to see in the chat what kind of food is being tossed to Big Al. That's a snag. Sadoff 1 for 2 on his hibachi catches. Here we go, another warm-up pitch, another chance, 2 for 3. And as you get a look at the numbers in Allen's young career, blown up by the 3 homers he allowed in Doak Campbell Stadium. He's on a streak, 3 in a row for Sadoff. Guy can't be stopped now. Hibachi chef jamming. You got music for a sushi restaurant playing, a little Harry Styles action. Yeah, Al's automatic now. 4 in a row.
Well, I mean, this is a former Mariners minor leaguer, and you bet that when he was spending time in that organization, he was, you know, having some hibachi adventures with all of his teammates. Sadoff 4 Ks through his first 3 innings pitched. And this is a guy who played under Mark Crocco at Erskine from 2020 to 2022. Now he gets to pitch against his former head coach for the first time here in Banana Ball. So that is certainly exciting for Sadoff, who thought he might get drafted by the Loco Beach Coconuts.
Nanners nabbed Sadoff in the 9th round. The stuff is disgusting. Ashby Vining is about to find out. Dane Tofflin, Peyton Chatagnier waiting in the wings. And as the fans get an opportunity, second deck, no, clangs off the facade. Nice catch on the ricochet, though. Ashby 0 for 2. And can't connect on that disappearing sweeper. Part of a 4-pitch mix. Fastball, low to mid-90s. Cutter and a changeup to round it out. And a looping liner out into left center. Sounded like a broken bat. If it is, the bat died a hero. Excellent piece of 2-strike hitting from the Coconuts catcher.
And that just keeps the streak going for Ashby Vining. Number 11 with 11 straight games with the hit to start his Banana Ball career.
Incredibly consistent for a guy who's got all the pop in the world. He's a power hitter. Don't let the hit streak take away from that. Ten homers back-to-back years at St. Peter's, set the record and then tied it his junior and senior campaigns in school. Now 2-0 count on Dane Tofflin. Battle between a couple behemoths here in San Diego. Sadoff 6'1", 210 on the bump. The great Dane, 6'4", 230 in the box. Said, free pitch on the 3-0. Sadoff can't find the zone, though. So Vining's going to go first to third. This time clean sprint defense by the Bananas, as Dane stays at first. And the Coconuts, after claiming their first point an inning ago, set up for success here in the top of the 7th. And I think we're going to get a specialty walk-up from Chatagnier.
Yeah, Cody's it. Cody's me, bro. Let me be me.
I know, like the ocean needs the moon to take the tides away. All we need's a little time to chase the blues away. Sun is out and it feels like it's always gonna stay.
Now batting, Caden Bowler!
Well, Chatagnier pinch hit for Caden Bowler in his spot. A big one at that. Second career plate appearance for Bowler here in his rookie campaign. Check on Henderson at first. Designated runner used for a 3rd time by Crocco and company. There goes Armani. Fouled straight back. 0-2 count on Bowler. And Armani has to retreat back to first. As you can see, Caden was Jason Arendt's right-hand man last year in the Tailgaters band. But guy can really swing it, nearly gets it into our press box. About 15 feet shy, good direction though.
I was ready. I saw that off the bat really well.
Me too. It was headed your way more than mine. KP enjoying the pull over there off the third base line, and Caden Bowler, broken bat single, first career hit, first career RBI after the specialty walk-up. And then Coconuts, chance for another point.
Well, down 0-2, it didn't face Caden Bowler whatsoever. Able to flip the switch after the signature walk-up. And again, the Coconuts, this is a team. They get hotter the later these ball games go.
Look out, Gideon Antel. Fastball high and tight. Spooky from Sadoff. And follows it up with a beautiful bender to get the top of the zone. Good pitch call by Bill Leroy. Good execution by Sadoff. And a chance for the fans. Second deck, leaping attempt. Ball not caught. Count even at 2-2 on the Coconuts. One of their 2 10th round picks in the player draft. Gideon Antel looking like a steal right now. Liner into right center field, and the hit parade continues. Armani Henderson scores. He had to run around Shane Victorino, his primetime coach, coming in. Shane getting used to third base coach positioning. And Armani leading his crew in a little sea line celebration. Who has to make the 20-minute drive up to La Jolla? We have him right here in Petco Park. That's another really nice piece of 2-strike hitting here in what is currently a 2-run top of the 7th for the Coconuts. Alan Sadoff yet to get an out. Now he faces Grady Morgan. Ball and a strike.
Yeah, certainly a tough spot to be in for Alan Sadoff, and Coconuts with 3 hits here in the 7th inning. All of them have come in 2 strike counts. Sadoff just continuing to think, hey, maybe I'm gonna pick up a strikeout against one of these guys instead. They're just getting these little knocks off of him. And there it is for Alan Sadoff. Jumps ahead of Morgan 1-2 and blows the heater by him for his first out in the 7th.
And gets himself a flip from his hibachi chef to celebrate. After 4 straight batters reached, single, sprint, single, single. Allen's got an out and is a double play away from escaping with just the 2 runs allowed. Jumps ahead of J.D. Urso. JD 1 for 2 tonight, has reached both times. Single, got aboard on a trick play miss from KJ a couple innings ago. And a chopper to Ryan Cox. He's gonna go the short way, between the legs transfer. The glove magician snags the trick play as Bowler has to head back to the dugout. And with 2 on and 2 outs, here's Gillum.
The world's tallest pitcher! Dakota Stilts All-Britain.
The tallest athlete in the world. Dakota Stilts All-Britain here in his 6th Banana Ball World Tour. Couple ducks on the pond. He's gonna have to pick up Big Al. Try and strand a pair. Going up against Ben Parker.
Yeah, definitely a really tough matchup for Dakota Stilts All-Britain. The first time he will ever face off against the leadoff man for the Coconuts. And this is just his 2nd time taking the mound so far in 2026. But in his season debut, 2 pitches, a quick ground out, And he'll look for more quick work against Parker's even stilts. Caught a little piece of something from our hibachi chef up there, standing 10 feet 9 inches on the mound.
And stilts flexing, showing Ben Parker why he should be a bodybuilder as well. Be interested to hear what Benny Pumps thought of Stilts' audition. There's the tall ball. Big Bender gets the top of the zone, evens up the count against the Coconut center fielder. 2 on, 2 outs, 1-1 pitch. Make it 2-1. Got a legend of banana ball on the mound. A budding star at the dish. And now a 3-1 count on Parker. Guy who raked all throughout his college career. Hit .407 last year at William and Mary. But doesn't have to swing the bat once against Albritton here. Antel will come in easily from second as Urso follows him to third. Parker with his second sprint of the ball game, 3rd run driven in. And a 3 spot for the Coconuts. Tanner Allen, a unique batting stance. Just a jackknife out of the way of the fastball. Tanner 1 for 3. Single sandwiched between a ground out and pop out. He's hit into a combined 3 trick plays from the Bananas defense. And laces that out into left center. Ty Jackson will take care of it with a squat or 2 for the fine folks here in San Diego. 3 runs come across. They're all charged to Alan Sadoff. And the Coconuts, after winning the 6th inning, a golden opportunity to win the 7th and pull within 1 point of the Nanners, as we've got less than a half an hour left on our 2-hour timer, and it's time for some shenanigans.
Well, it's intriguing, but to go would cost me greatly. So what percentage of the show would I be taking?
Well, fair enough. You'd want a piece of all the action. I'd give you 7. We could shake and make it happen.
I wasn't born this morning. 18 would be just fine.
Why not just go ahead and ask for nickels on the dime?
15.
I'd do 8.
12.
Maybe 9.
10. Sir, looks like you have yourself a junior partner.
What I have is an overcompensated apprentice.
KJ and Olsen, starring in our latest piece from The Greatest Showman, Josh Chalebsky's favorite movie all time.
Not true, but I like the movie.
You enjoyed it.
That is not in my Letterboxd top 4, bro. Come on.
Is it in your top 100?
There's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance.
I'm sorry. I enjoyed it. It's nowhere near my top 100. Zach Smith, new man on the mound for the Loco Beach Coconuts, a familiar face for a handful of guys over in that Bananas dugout. This is a 2022 rather, Coastal Plain League Banana, pitched in the championship against the Wilson Tobbs and beloved by all of his teammates, both former and current.
Yeah, 8.2 innings pitched and
2022 as a collegiate banana, 2.08 earned run average. He was very effective, and he's been effective so far with the Loco Beach Coconuts. Only 1 hit allowed in his first 3 1/3 innings pitched, averaging 3 outs in 4 minutes and 7 seconds. Even has a save right now for Loco Beach. So they've seen really good things out of Zach Smith. He was their first pick on day 2 of the draft, and he's been Mark Crocco's go-to setup guy out of this bullpen.
Fastball poured in for strike 1 to Kyle Jackson, fresh off his big song and dance with Jackson Olsen. Bill Leroy on deck, the aforementioned Jackie in the hole. And liner right back at Smith, look out. KJ 3 for 3. Walked off the 1st and 4th innings. Nobody aboard for that leadoff single here in the last of the 7th. But a good job. Nanners in the business of base runners, that's one of them. They get another guy aboard, they can think about tying this 7th inning. And Bill Leroy against a guy who just missed him in the CPL days. Bill, a collegiate banana, 2018 through 2021. Smith, of course, came a summer later. But Bill was pretty close with that team. Watch Zach help the Nanners complete the repeat. As KJ's off for second, Vining's throw offline never stood a chance. And it ricochets into left. Kyle Jackson's gonna go over to third on what'll go in the books as an E2 on Ashby Vining. KJ's first steal of his 3rd World Tour. An important piece of this Bananas lineup after he missed last Sunday's game against the Party Animals after being hit on the knee by Drew Gillespie on Saturday night in the 9th. KJ will come on in and score on the wild pitch. So a single, a stolen base, an error, and then a wild pitch. And in a span of 6 pitches, Kyle Jackson scores a run. Bill Leroy, did he hold up? No. First base umpire Andrew Gerard says Leroy went around on the gnarly sinker from Zach Smith.
Yeah, close call, but what I like to see is Bill Leroy, even with the check swing on a full count, he's off and trying to engage in that ball 4 sprint. Base running, I should say. That's what we're looking for. Bill, very wisely, just trying to see how many bases he could get despite having to wait for a call. And so Banana Ballers current and future, take note of that. In those payoff pitch situations, just start your ball 4 sprint base running.
Olsen golfs this one out to Antel, who's gonna go between the legs but come up empty on the trick play attempt. Jackson parks it at second. And that will bring the inning tying run to the dish. First trick play missed in Gideon's young career. Olsen running hard the whole way, easily gets 2 bases. Now Robert Anthony Cruz. He's got as much power as anybody in the sport. Still looking for his first home run here in his 3rd World Tour. Well, take that. Deflected off of Jacobo's glove. Parker attacking, Olsen stays at 3rd. Rack was due, and the hits will keep on coming. That's only his 2nd knock of the tour.
And this is a guy who's always playing his best banana ball when he's out on the West Coast. A career .324 batting average playing on the West Coast. 4 doubles, 5 homers, 13 runs batted in. And now he's putting men on the corners for Ty Jackson.
Yeah, Ty's first plate appearance of the ball game in place of Danny Hosley here in the 9-hole. Swinging it against his former collegiate Bananas teammate, Zach Smith. Hadn't pitched in 2 years. Was coaching at Abilene Christian. Came to Salem, Virginia for a firefighters headlining series. Thinking about coaching in banana ball. As this one is tapped to Zach, and he will make the only play over at first base. There's out number 2. It was firefighters tailgater, so his former Collegiate Nanners teammate Indiana Stanley was there, and they were chopping it up. Zach Smith was hitting fungos, throwing BP, being a good coach. Indy said, hey, forget coaching, man. You're downright filthy. You should be pitching. Zach started talking to Gillum and company, said, hey, you think I could maybe play? So we can get you to the Dallas tryout in October. And the first batter he faced in over 2 years, he struck out at the tryout. The rest is history. Mark Crocco loved what he saw, grabbed him in the 10th round, and it's been a nice start to his banana ball career. He has given up 2 runs, but both of them unearned, so the ERA still zeros as he gets to the top of the zone and now trying to earn a point here for the Coconuts. Nope, they called that a ball. All right, 3-0. Fills it up. Make it 3-2. Liner into left, that will plate 1. Tanner Allen playing very shallow. Rack never had a chance of scoring. So RBI single for Ryan Cox, his second knock of the night. And the inning-winning run at third base now as Grzaffi takes over the running duties as first, representing the inning-winning run.
This is a classic Ryan Cox game. 2 oppo hits for the Savannah Bananas, a double now, an RBI single, and Meadows hacking at the first pitch. Tofflin tries to run over and field that over Chatagnier. Instead, it's going to result in Meadows reaching and the Bananas tying up the 7th inning and keeping the Coconuts from earning a second point.
And now Grzaffi, the inning-winning run, 90 feet away. It'll go as a single, an RBI, and an error from Chatagnier, allowing Grzaffi to get from second to third. I would guess, I'm assuming, on official scoring decisions. And they are confirmed. And coming in from the pen, looks like Crocco's going to his closer. Big spot here. Coconuts could have pulled within 1. That's out of the question now with the inning knotted at 3 runs each. C.J. Williams, the fireman in this situation, coming in against one of the best hitters in the sport to try and keep the deficit at 2 points. As you get a look at the numbers for Williams, who is dynamic last year as Crocco's closer for the Visitors, Banana Ball's developmental team. And after winning that national championship at the University of Tampa last year with J.D. Urso, boy, CJ's parlayed it into an impressive young banana ball career. It's 3 1/3 scoreless innings with only 1 hit and 4 strikeouts last year. Closing games for the Visitors. Nanners weren't able to touch him. Neither were the Party Animals for that matter. And a 1-1 count on Reese Alexiadis. 1 walk-off already tonight. Double won the 3rd inning. There goes Meadows. Swing and a miss. Vining will concede the stolen base. DR's 2nd of the night. Tour leading 8th overall. 1-2 from Williams to Alexiadis. With the fate of the frame hanging in the balance. Swing and a miss. C.J. Williams, pure nitro, blows it past Super Reese, and it's still a 3-1 game.
And an effective call to the bullpen for Mark Crocco, bringing in his top gun against one of the Bananas' best bats across the last 2 World Tours. And Williams with the heater blowing it by Alexiadis to keep it a 3-1 Nanners lead.
We've got a little wave action getting cooked up here in Petco Park. Over 42,000 fans on hand. Yeah, it looks like AJ Swiatek's down there. AJ, what's going on?
All right, Coconut. So, got a new 42,000 Coconut. Got the wait.
Here it comes.
All right. I'm sure AJ was saying great stuff down there. What he was saying, I think we got about 15% of.
He always looks good, though.
No doubt about that. As a dashing young gentleman, we are fired up to have in the Bananas television world. Have him up in the booth with Josh and I tomorrow afternoon for the finale of this 2-game set. As Grant Besser, the new man on the mound, we go to our 8th inning. Still 3-1 Bananas. Big boppers. Due to swing it for the Coconuts, a 2-0 count on Jordan Brewer. Make it 2-1. Eric Osberg on deck. Ashby Vining in the hole. Coconuts were held scoreless through 5 innings, played it 2 in the 6th, earned the point, pushed 3 across in the 7th, and a defensive collapse behind Zach Smith allowed 3 unearned runs to come across. CJ Williams was able to escape without ceding the point, but I mean, that's a frame the Coconuts got to win.
That's an inning where you'd say the Coconuts banana balled themselves. A trick play missed, 2 errors, just trying to do a little too much defensively. And now this one tailor-made for a DR Meadows backflip in center field. And the Savannah Bananas now with 10 trick plays tonight against the Coconuts.
And the doctor, a dozen trick plays on the tour, yet to boof one. Inspired by his left fielder, David Ray, striking a pose. And now Besser sets his sights on Eric Osberg, he's a quickly ahead 0-2, 360, and heck of a piece of hitting by the former Rays minor leaguer. Osberg's second base hit of the ball game. He's 2 for 3. And now Ashby Vining against his 2025 visitors teammate. Ashby caught Besser a good deal. In Grant's fantastic banana ball 2-month tryout, we'll call it, as a member of the visitors. And can't find the zone. 4 straight bad ones to Vining. Osberg is going to go first to third. Alexiadis and then Cruz, the 6th and 7th final Bananas defenders who had to touch that ball before it was live. Vining aboard for a second time tonight. Runners on the corners for Dane Toffland. He's the Dunkin' Donut batter. And the fans want donuts. We're going to need a Grant Besser strikeout. Gnarly changeup there. And Besser's a strike away. Right back to it. Toffland golfs it foul.
That changeup's the pitch that plays against the right-handed batters. And if I'm Grant Besser, I'm just trying to work as quickly as possible and make this a really uncomfortable AB for Dane.
Toffland down swinging. The fans get free donuts, courtesy of Grant Besser.
I mean, that's just so tough. You've got your 8th inning guy in Grant Besser going to that changeup for the strikeout pitch. Danny Hosley follows him with that Vulcan change. You're going to see a lot of strikeouts for the Savannah Bananas in the 8th and 9th innings this season. And you see Besser already back to work incredibly quick against Chatagnier, and he's in an 0-2 count.
Fastball misses wide. And now the count even at 2-2. Deuce is wild. Bounding ball foul. We'll do it again. Nice play by Victorino in foul territory. Getting the ball back to Besser. Another 2-2. Plunked. Chatagnier hit by the pitch. And looks like he gets to be a fish now. Etheridge back out there for the picture. This time Blake Benson joins in on the fun. Anthony Marks has caught a couple big ones tonight. I mean, nothing like the 6'2" behemoth he got the first 10, but 5 feet 10 inches, still a massive fish when it comes to Chatagnier. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Gideon Antell trying to break this inning open. Ball and a strike. Gideon RBI single an inning ago. 1 for 3, and he gets hit. Back-to-back batters hit by Besser, and that will push in Osberg. Coconuts with a run for a 3rd straight inning. And the bag still chucked. Baton pass to Grady Morgan. Oh my gosh, it's Brett Carson actually, and he's plunked. 3 straight batters hit by pitches. The last 2 driving in a run. Armani Henderson scores. And now it's multiple runs in 3 straight innings from the Coconuts offense.
I mean, this is unheard of. We've never seen anything like this in a banana ball game before. Innings start so well for Grant Besser, but then 4 of the last 5 batters have reached either via ball 4 sprint or hit by pitch.
Now Sal Jacobo ahead 2-0. Liner up the middle, Jacobo comes through in the clutch. 1 run in, the throw from Meadows will prevent another. But Antell scores. Or Chatagnier rather. And it's back-to-back 3 spots for the Coconuts. They're not done. To the top of the order we go. 0-1 count on Ben Parker. By the way, Brett Carson now on second base. That was his first career Loco Beach Coconuts plate appearance. He saw 1 pitch and was hit by it. Got himself an RBI for his troubles.
Character at bat. Character plate appearance. That's what makes Eric Osberg very happy.
High fly ball deep out to left center. Meadows eyeing it up. He's going to tip it. And Rack will put a bow on the DR trick play. Coconuts leave them loaded, but after pushing across 3, and another golden opportunity at a point.
You guys have been amazing tonight, but now we got a real important tradition here in Banana Land. We ask you to take out your phones, turn on your flashlights, and we're gonna light up the sky here in San Diego. Every single one light it up, and we're gonna sing as loud as we can, A Little Yellow. Here we go.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. Everything you do. Came along, I wrote a song for you. All the things you do. So then I took my eyes up. Oh, what things we've done.
Keep it going. We love you so much, Banana Nation. Now let's go, Bananas!
A beautiful scene here in the city in motion. San Diego, California, Petco Park, home of the Padres. Over 42,000 fans have converged here for Banana Ball history. The first game Ever played between the Savannah Bananas and the Loco Beach Coconuts? It's been a wild one. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Nanners up 3-1 in the all-important points department. Coconuts with 3 runs in this 8th inning. If C.J. Williams can limit the Nanners to 2 runs or less, then it will be a 1-point game going to the 9th, where every run scored counts as a point. 3, 4, and 5 for the Bananas. Young Goldberg, Oberst, and KJ. C.J. Williams saved a point in the 7th, came in with the inning-winning run on third base, struck out Reese Alexiadis. Power on power, beat him with the fastball, and remains in the game. I think Crocco would prefer he doesn't have to use another arm tonight. Foul ball, not caught. And the count full on MJG. Nice night for him. Sprint and a single, 1 for 2. As he earns his 2nd sprint. Coconuts have had good ball four sprint defense tonight. Hasn't been a Banana who's gotten to second base on a ball four sprint. That remains the case. Young Goldberg gets to run for himself for the first time tonight. Grizzaffi, the designated runner, scored in his place inning-winning runs in the 1st and 4th. As Dan Oberst, a mile high out to right center. Gideon Antel catches it the old-fashioned way, securing the first out. Oberst 1 for 4 now. As Kyle Jackson, infallible so far tonight at the dish, 3 for 3. Inning winners to notch points for the Nanners in the 1st and 4th frames. Singled and scored in the 7th. Started that 3-run rally that denied the Coconuts a point. 2-0. Got a 2024 visitor at the dish, a 2025 visitor on the mound. From Banana Ball's developmental team to squaring off in a big league park. As the count even at 2-2 now on Kyle Jackson.
And this was one of those elite matchups that we saw last season. Bananas visitors had a game pushed to showdown tiebreakers. Williams facing off against Kyle Jackson, and KJ was the hero, getting the Bananas the victory to end that 2025 visitor season. But a really, really thrilling game, and always great to see two of Banana Ball's bright stars battling against one another.
The iconic moment, KJ opened up the Bananas jersey to reveal the visitor's shirt underneath, paying homage to his Banana Ball roots. Payoff pitch coming. Ball 4, fastball just misses wide. KJ aboard for the 4th time. Big round of first, but more respect to that Coconuts defense. And the Nanners chasing 3 runs in the frame. No reason to do anything crazy. MJG and KJ have done their jobs. They've set the table. Now Bill Leroy, slow start here to his 9th year in yellow. Looking for his first massive moment of his 5th World Tour. Bender just misses the top of the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. KJ deep towards second as Williams gets back in the count. Dangerous 3-1 offering coming from Williams to Leroy. There goes KJ. And it's a liner off the glove of Toughlin. KJ's going first to third. The throw from Tanner Allen goes all the way into the Coconuts dugout and out of play. And once again, Loco Beach defense turning a bad situation into a disastrophe. See where the umpires put Bill Leroy. Right now he's at third base.
It looks like they're trying to direct him back to second, and that looks like that's what's going to be the case. But Bryce Grzezafi, he's entering as the designated runner now.
I'm surprised by that decision from the umpires. Assumed Bill had possession of first base. Ball out of play, should be 2 bases on an overthrow. But nonetheless, Grzezafi on second as the inning tying run. Jackson Olsen ready for a 1-0. Grizz has already stolen 2 bases tonight. Swiped second and third back in the 4th inning. Pitcher's pitch. And a 2-1 now coming to Jackie. Bouncer is grabbed by Brewer. Couple transitions between the legs. The key is if the ball
is leaving the hand.
Exactly. And we never got another look at it. As Rack squibs this one to short. Chatagnier off balance in time. And the Coconuts do claim the 2nd point of this ball game. They pull within 1. Going to our final
Ladies
inning,
and gentlemen, that means it's
scored
time to
counts
cast our gaze on the scoreboard. With the Coconuts winning the 8th inning, the score is now 3 points for the Savannah Bananas to 2 points for the Loco Beach Coconuts. But here's the thing about the final inning in the game of banana ball. In that final inning, every run counts for a point. That means the red-hot bats of the Coconuts are as dangerous as ever here heading into the top of the 9th. On the other hand, ladies and gentlemen, the Savannah Bananas need just 3 outs to lock down a victory here at Petco Park. So, ladies and gentlemen of San Diego, let's get loud because this is the final inning.
Let me hear you
Coconuts failed to earn the equalizer point against the Bananas. Don't get more trick plays than the Nanners going into our final inning. It either ended 11-8 or 11-7, depending on the official scoring decision on that Brewer play. For the 2nd out in the bottom of the 8th. Either way, equalizer point was not hanging in the balance of that scoring decision, as Danny Do-It-All only has 1 point to work with. He's been nearly perfect. Only 3 hits against him. The crazy stuff you see on that graphic right there. 8 strikeouts, 0 ball 4 sprints in 3 innings.
Well, before the Party Animals and Tailgaters started battling this weekend, Hosley was tied for the league lead in strikeouts. Now that's no longer the case after Brett Sanchez pulled ahead with that outright lead. But here's the thing, as far as strikeout rate is concerned, pretty much no one is in his stratosphere right now. Danny Hosley has struck out 61.5% of the total batters he's faced this season. And I know it is very early, but if he is able to keep a pace like that up, you're looking at yet another Pitcher of the Year nomination for Danny Do-It-All.
Looks like we're getting a golden batter.
The Loco Beach Coconuts are invoking the golden batter rule. Hitting in place of Tanner Allen is your golden batter, Ben Pumps Parker!
Fascinating strategy at play for the Coconuts. Ben Parker, your leadoff hitter, is pinch hitting for Tanner Allen, 2021 National Player of the Year. Shows the trust in Benny Pumps, who came into this ball game hitting .500 with a .560 on base percentage.
He's the first ever man utilized as the golden batter for the Coconuts, and he pops the 1-0 in the air. Ryan Cox will catch it the standard way, flash a smile to Kyle Jackson, and a quick first out for Hosley and company.
Yeah, Coxey failed to execute on a tip drill earlier tonight, not taking any chances with the fate of the game hanging in the balance. Heck of a take there by Jordan Brewer. And a smile for Danny Hosley as he lays off the 12-6 curve. Fastball high and tight, it's 2-0. Chance for the fans in the second deck, not caught. It is snagged on a deflection, but has to be a clean catch right off the bat. Another life for Jordan Brewer. There's that backdoor Vulcan changeup as Hosley evens the count. We'll do it again. Another 2-2. Another foul ball. Battle of Titans here in front of over 42,000 fans in San Diego. Hosley to Brewer. That's a mile high into the stands. It would be insane if the fans catch it. And they do not. So we'll get a fourth 2-2 pitch. Bounced in, the count goes full. The payoff pitch. High fly ball, deep to left field. Jordan Brewer flies out just in front of the track. Too much launch angle. Rack secures the second out here in the ninth.
Off the bat, that banana ball looked like it was going to keep carrying, and at some point just started hanging up in the air a little too much. Robert Anthony Cruz saw him start to get a beat on that ball, and you could tell it was not going to leave Petco Park, notoriously a very pitcher-friendly place.
Ball and no strikes on Eric Osberg. This is a guy who turned down invites to multiple big league camps this spring because he had committed himself to banana ball. Now he gets to play in a big league stadium with the game on the line as he bounces it fair. Max Young Goldberg to the bag. And Danny Hosley does it again. A 1-2-3 top of the ninth as the Nanners survive 3-2 victors night one here in San Diego.
Third save in as many opportunities for Danny Hosley. And the Savannah Bananas improve to 5-1 here in 2026 behind big performances from Kyle Jackson and Max Young Goldberg, the man making the final out. And yet another impressive job by Austin Drury and Jacob Bazala tonight.
Coconuts are challenging the foul, or the fair ball call rather, down that first baseline, which is well within their right. So the game not quite over yet. The umpires are going to go to the monitor and see if there's clear evidence that the ground ball to Max Young Goldberg was actually a foul ball. Coconuts were pretty apoplectic off that third baseline. They thought it was pretty clear. I mean, that angle's not going to tell us a thing. As much as we see this angle, I promise you, control room, you wonderful people, this is not going to change anything. It has to be from probably the high home camera. I mean,
you see it land fair there.
Yeah, and this isn't going to tell us anything either. Another look.
I don't think this angle is going to get you anything.
No. These side angles, if you could clearly see it hit on the other side of the chalk, then maybe, I guess there could be something.
I'm seeing a fair ball from this angle, personally. Now,
yeah, 100%.
I'm a legally blind man, but
yeah,
it's pretty clear cut to me.
You've got your contacts in, Tulefsky. This is the angle. Good job, control room. You found it. Okay, now you just got to find the banana ball. It's the ump cam. This is Vincent Chapman's point of view.
That's looking good for me. That is still looking good for me.
Yeah, it still looks good for me, too. As much as I would love to see more banana ball tonight, the plot thickened a little bit. Another life for Eric Osberg. It's where the ball crosses first base. So if it crosses first base, even with that inside bag and the fair foul line, then the call stands. Yes, and Vincent Chapman says the call does stand. That's a very hard play to overturn. With video evidence, probably the hardest call to flip. In comparison to safe out calls or catch no catches in the infield or outfield. And the Bananas patiently waited. Now they get to boogie. 5-1 on the year as the Coconuts drop to 2-4 overall. And are officially, at this point in time, the first team out of the Banana Ball Open. The Coconuts Firefighters and Indianapolis Clowns all 2-4, fighting for that final spot in the Open as the Party Animals and Tailgaters are 4-3 after splitting their set in Sacramento. Austin Drury gets called into the center of the Dancing Heart. Fantastic start for Drury. 4 scoreless frames. 3 points earned. Drury was the difference in this ball game for the Bananas pitching-wise. Kyle Jackson the difference offensively. And the boys keep on dancing, as they've been known to do. So the Nanners, a 2-game lead atop the Banana Ball Championship League. Kyle Jackson, your showman of the game for a 3rd time this year. A reminder, the Bananas have 5 wins. 3 out of those 5 games, KJ has been the Energizer Bunny. 3 for 3, a ball force sprint. Got himself a trick play over at third base. Won the 1st and 4th innings. And then a couple runs scored and a stolen base late in the action.
Well, this guy was the offensive force tonight. The same could be said about his performance in big league parks last season in his rookie campaign. He had a .377 batting average, a 1.189 OPS, 18 runs batted in, 18 ball force sprints. He did everything right on the big stages for the Savannah Bananas, and that was certainly true again tonight for their superstar third baseman.
I think I'd like to hear from the man himself for that. We'll get it down to Michael Schwartz.
Is obviously at a high vibe. Wait, can we pay tribute to the Coconuts with a little? All right, you'll figure that out.
I'll just hold it.
Yeah, okay. KJ, walk-off single, walk-off double, 3 for 3, 1 trick play. I mean, what was it about this atmosphere that made you continue to succeed?
Well, I love San Diego. It's probably the weather and the people. These people are so amazing. The city's amazing. I love the state, too. Everything about this place is electric. And I had a game off in New Orleans, and I really, really, really wanted to make a statement today for these people and those watching at home. So I hope I did that because I had a lot of fun, and I hope people noticed.
This place is amazing. Like, I just want to move here, but we love the East Coast, too. Real quick, what's leading to this success so early in the season?
Well, I give all my glory to God. I give all my glory to my teammates. They are the ones who keep me grounded. There's a lot of craziness happening around in the real world, but when you're surrounded by the right people with the right intentions, things just seem to fall into place, and I feel that's what this place is. Banana Land is special, and Banana Ball special, and it makes me feel great, and I love this place.
And this guy is special. KJ, thank you so much, man. Hey, congratulations.
Yes!
First win for the Bananas against the Coconuts. A historic night here at Petco Park. There's one more tomorrow. Biko, we'll send it back up to you guys.
Thank you, Michael, and may the Schwartz be with you. Another look at KJ's night. It started with the walk-off winner in the first with 2 outs, clutch piece of hitting, and then with 1 down, the inning-winning double in the 4th, once again to bring home Bryce Grzappi. And for good measure, a leadoff single to get things going in that 3-run 7th inning, which ended up being the key to this ball game. The Bananas denying the Coconuts that point in the 7th when they had amassed 3 runs in the top half. And always running wild, Kyle Jackson coming all the way in that 7th frame. Little tip drill to Ryan Cox for the trick play defensively. And the Savannah Bananas are a league best 5-1 after getting their first loss last Sunday in the Superdome. They bounce back here at Petco Park as we welcome you back inside the booth with Josh Talevsky, Biko Scala. Thank you again for spending your Saturday with us here in virtual Banana Land. One of the greatest days in Banana Ball history. We had 4 p.m. Eastern Party Animals tailgaters. We had 8 p.m. Eastern clowns and firefighters. And then the late night over here on the West Coast, little 10 p.m. Eastern first pitch as the Bananas win it 3-2. Austin Drury, of course, your hero pitching-wise. I mean, you cannot say enough about Bananas' first rounder. 4 scoreless. He really set the tone and earned all 3 points.
Yeah, it was a very big night for Austin Drury. Jacob Azala, for the most part, pitching well. Also for the Savannah Bananas. I mean, the Bananas gave themselves enough of a padding to come away with the victory tonight, despite a late Coconuts rally. And this team started to look really, really solid in the late stages of this game. Again, that's what they've shown us so far through the first 6 games of this season. So for the Loco Beach Coconuts heading into tomorrow's game, they've got to figure out how to get some offense early against the Savannah Bananas and in general in the Banana Ball Championship League. And for the Savannah Bananas, they got to continue to put the pressure on those Coconuts early, much like they did tonight. Again, I don't think much is going to change in this Bananas lineup as far as those first 6 spots in the lineup are concerned. They just continue to do such a good job at putting up consistent offense. Reese Alexiadis, Kyle Jackson continuing to shine with guys in scoring position. And again, Bananas bullpen started to falter late in this contest, but that 7th inning where the Bananas were able to get 3 runs and knot that inning up, I mean, that was the difference maker tonight, and that's the reason why they improved to 5-1 against the Coconuts.
And as we've mentioned, Loco Beach drops to 2-4, and now just plain record-wise, they're in a 3-way tie for that last spot, but we mentioned on the pregame show, the Firefighters hold that tiebreaker over the Coconuts as they swept them last weekend in Little Rock, Arkansas. So tomorrow, just like every 2-game set before the Banana Ball Open here in 2026, we will flip the script when it comes to home and away. So the Savannah Bananas, the away team tomorrow, they'll swing it first. The Loco Beach Coconuts, the home team tomorrow afternoon. It'll be 4 p.m. start here, Pacific time, 3 p.m. rather.
There you go.
6 p.m. on the East Coast as I jumble my time zones up. Here in San Diego. It'll be a fascinating one tomorrow as the Nanners look for the sweep.
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting game. I expect Noah Niznik to get the ball for the Savannah Bananas. And the Loco Beach Coconuts, they're turning to another former Banana, getting the ball from the rip. Andy Archer gets to go up against his former teammates, much like we saw from Austin Krasminski tonight.
And I'm almost certain we'll see Kyle Perry out of the bullpen. So that'll be really fun getting to see some more Nanners face off against their former team. And we didn't see Dalton Malden tonight for the Coconuts. I'm sure Crocco's going to get Malden in the game as well. So it'll be a really fun one. Okay, I'm getting a little gift from our fearless producer, Mr. Chad Reese. This is the winner of the Bryce Matthews, autographed by Kyle Perry, rather. That is a Bryce Matthews, autographed by Kyle Perry, autographed card. It is going to, drumroll please, Annabelle Chapman. Congratulations, Annabelle Chapman. We will reach out to you, make sure to get all the shipping information and get that KP autograph card of his Nebraska teammate, Bryce Matthews, which that's actually a really phenomenal baseball player. He's probably going to end up in the bigs at some point this year.
It's a one-of-one card, man. What else do you have to say?
Exactly, and that's the important part. Our big thank you to our entire cast and crew here in the Bananas television world. That's not just here in San Diego and in Savannah. For the folks in Sacramento and Montgomery, it takes an army to make this thing happen, and you folks are the backbone of this broadcast experience. So a massive thank you you to all of you, to our director, Alex Gross, and our fantastic crew in Savannah, Georgia. You guys absolutely killed it tonight. Same goes for all of our camera operators, engineers, and techs on site here, led by our producer, Chad Reese, our executive producer, Josh Richardson, and down on the field, great to get to work with Michael Schwartz for the first time in our young tenure. AJ Swiatek on the coconut side. He's going to be up in the booth with Josh and I tomorrow afternoon for the finale. And speaking of that guy, Josh Chalevsky, our statistical savant, superb as always. And for our crazy casted crew, I am Biko Scala saying so long for now. 3-2, Nanners win in their first ever game against the Loco Beach Coconuts. Loco Beach trying to turn the tide tomorrow afternoon. We'll see if they can do it. A reminder, 4 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. There you go. 3 p.m. Pacific, everybody. Yeah. Bookmark it in your calendars. Holy cow. I'm going to stop talking. It'll be 6 p.m. Eastern. Until we see you tomorrow afternoon, we will see you